What that means is if you can get scanned early, if you feel there's something wrong with your body, get a scan early. It can help save lives. She has stage 4 cancer. She wishes she could have had a scan earlier. You can get a scan with Life Imaging FLA. They have FDA-approved, state-of-the-art, low-dosage radiation scanners, and I did this, and it's great. It's 6 minutes is all it takes, and they scan for cancer and heart disease. When you give them a call, just call this number, pound 250, say the words free heart scan, and with a few minimum requirements, you'll be able to get a free heart scan and also cancer screening. Once again, from your phone, dial pound 250, pound 250, say the words free heart scan, and you'll be connected in seconds. You'll also get an option to receive a one-time auto dial text from iHeartMedia. Get a scan if you can. It helps save lives. Get a scan from Life Imaging FLA.
Do you have information about a violent crime? Help solve crimes with your anonymous tips at crimeline.org. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Your tips make a difference. Say it here. It's anonymous at crimeline.org. Paid by CSTF.
When I'm on the move, there's only one move that works for me. So I'm going to Checkers. Slide me that $2.49 chicken bites and fries box. No matter where I go, I'm going to enjoy the crispy, juicy, perfectly seasoned all-white meat chicken bites. Plus a load of Checkers' famous seasoned fries, all for just $2.49. That's right, this box is always coming in clutch. Checkers is boxing up deals like you've never seen before. Whether I'm running on empty or stepping on the gas, I'm taking one for the road with Checkers. Get it delivered now.
A Fifth Third Better means we put in 166.7%.
What does that mean?
Well, at Fifth Third Bank, our name equals 166.7%. So that's how hard we work. That means free checking, no hidden fees, and helping to protect your identity.
Explain it in baseball terms?
It's a home run.
Basketball terms?
It's a slam dunk.
Football.
Touchdown.
Highlight?
Buzzball.
Cricket.
Golden duck.
Wow. Guess that really is a Fifth Third Better.
That's what a Fifth Third Better means. This is banking a Fifth Third Better. Fifth Third Bank, National Association member FDIC.
Are you dealing with tooth pain? Don't suffer in silence. Advanced Endodontics is here to help. Our expert team offers state-of-the-art care and is dedicated to helping you find relief. We specialize in root canals and have 6 convenient locations throughout Central Florida. We partner with well-known companies who offer great financing options, and you don't need a referral to make an appointment. Visit IneedARootCanal.com today. Don't delay. That's IneedARootCanal.com and take the pain away.
The best team of certified pre-owned Nissans. They're at Sutherland Nissan Orlando.
Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind Studios. Why Kaufman and Lind? Because clients and character matter. Contact them at whenyouneedus.com or dial pound 546 on your cell phone. This is WTKS FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Listen on your free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts.
Someone's going to get offended. It's just the way the world works. So to hopefully save everyone a little time and or energy, here's this. The opinions that you hear are those of the host and callers, and not those of iHeartMedia, its management, or advertisers.
The News Junkie is on.
The 3 best friends you never knew you had, running through the most viral stories of the day.
The News Junkie Sean Wasson with Sabrina and C-Lane.
It is Tuesday, September 26th, 2023. Lots to get to today, from shut it all down to 50 kids go missing in Cleveland, and someone got accidentally hammered on White Claws at the White House. Plus your calls, dispatches, emails, texts, and more. Hey there, Sabrina.
Hello.
Hello, C-Lane.
What's happening?
And hello to you. You can join us on the show today. All you have to do is send us a dispatch. Go to thenewsjunkie.com. Hit record on your first dispatch today. You can also watch the show on YouTube and twitch.tv/thenewsjunkie. Your message is rolling right into the studio real time, and it is a Share the Show Tuesday. That means you share the show, friend. It's easy for you to do. Just send around a link of the podcast or a link to the stream and hit the like button on the YouTube if you're over there watching. Shout it out at a stoplight, whatever you got to do to spread the word today. Share the show on a Share the Show Tuesday. How's everybody doing on a Tuesday?
Good, not bad.
Good.
All right. Good.
How are
good.
you?
We're off. Yeah, good enough. Feeling decent today. Finally got to sleep last night, for God's sake.
Oh, that's good.
Although we did have a little bit of an emergency this morning. Yeah. Courtney had left and went to go grocery shopping, and she came back, and I walk in, and I'm getting everything ready for the show, and she's upset and crying a little at the end of the hallway.
What happened?
And I said, "Are you okay? What happened? What's the matter?" And she said, "The wasp flew inside, and I tried to scoot it out, and I killed the wasp on accident."
No.
That thing was still alive?
That thing was still going. So look, I just waited, and the problem worked itself out. I didn't have to do
now she
anything.
feels like a murderer.
She said, "I'm a murderer," and I said, "You didn't do it on purpose. It's not your fault. The thing flew inside. It never flies inside."
Just a reminder, it's survival of the fittest. And
Yes. That thing wasn't fit this morning.
It came into your humble abode, and things had to be done.
Yeah, now wasp problem over. Although she says there's another one there. She's not sure which one she killed, but we'll see what happens. She's not having the greatest start to her day. Let's put our ears to the ground, our fingers on the pulse. Let's see what's happening in this great, big, wide world of ours. And we go to former President Trump in Somerville, South Carolina. And he's talking about whales because, you know, it sort of just veers off in different directions. He talks about stuff. Here he is.
But you have a better chance of being struck by lightning than hitting a whale with your boat. There has only been, listen to this, one such whale killed off the coast of South Carolina in the last 50 years.
By a boat.
But on the other hand, their windmills are causing whales to die in numbers never seen before. Nobody does anything about
I'm
that.
sorry,
They're
what?
Washing up ashore.
He's talking about the windmills killing the whales, which I know sounds strange, and he's saying they're washing up on shore, and nobody cares about that.
I saw it this weekend. 3 of them came up. You wouldn't see it once a year. Now they're coming up on a weekly basis.
Whales everywhere.
Windmills are driving them crazy. They're driving the whales, I think, a little batty.
A little batty. A little batty. They're driving him a little batty. And the weird thing is everybody's going to dunk on him for this because, you know, Trump and people hate him. He's not totally wrong about this. There's studies that say the windmills generate this noise that is making the whales like kind of either go near it or it's freaking them out with, I don't know, with whatever, you know, their sonar, whatever's built into a whale that deals with that. So it's actually a thing, but he's like, and the weirdest thing is when people go, you know, the windmills are killing the whales, and the crowd's like, yeah, all right, okay. Why are we cheering this? Do we want the whales to be killed by the windmills? I'm not sure where we're at on this whole thing. Just to keep things on the up and up, let's check in on the current president and see how he's doing. How's everything going at his Pacific Islands Forum speech? He's talking about something.
Strong growth begins with a strong infrastructure. So today I'm pleased to announce we're working with Congress to invest $40 billion in our Pacific Islands Infrastructure Initiative. We call it the PI anyway. It doesn't matter what we call it, but that's what it is.
Yeah. Perfect. I'm so excited for this election.
So we got whales and then whatever else he was talking about there. That's all on the horizon for us for real fun next year, what with all the voting and all. There has been so much, and I would argue too much, talk about the whole Taylor Swift appearance at one football game. And I mean, I can't tell you how many angles I've seen talking about this. Did you see the conspiracy theory that they snuck Taylor Swift out of the game in a popcorn thing?
No.
Have you seen this?
No,
okay.
I didn't.
If you look up on Twitter, if you look up Taylor Swift popcorn, there's this like big machine, like a box, and it says Taylor Swift on it, and there's a bag of popcorn on the top, and they're just rolling it through the crowd, and they think that Taylor Swift was put inside there to be jettisoned from the arena without anybody bothering her. This is how deep everybody's gone into this.
I mean, does the normal person not understand that there exist backstage areas and vomitories in all these stadiums and arenas that is made for getting the people of importance in and out of there without you dummies seeing them?
Yeah, some of them even have tunnels, I think.
That's what a vomitory is.
Oh, is it really?
Oh,
okay, we'll call it a tunnel. Well, what are you calling it a vomitory?
That's what they call them. A-bomb, V-bomb, those are like the sections you're allowed in.
That's what they call them at the stadium? They wouldn't call it a tunnel? Oh, all right. So either a tunnel.
I learned.
Or a vomitorium that brings you to the stadium. Probably the way she actually went out. But I knew this was going to happen. Some of the sports diehards are like, damn Taylor Swift, I gotta get up out of my sports. I don't want Taylor Swift in my sports. This is a sports world. We don't need no pop stars in this. And one of the main sports guys over on satellite radio, Mad Dog.
Yeah.
Isn't that Mad Dog? And he's talking about this, and he's like, enough of it already. Oh, no. This is satellite radio. I hope there's no cursing in this.
Sean...
Please, man, you did this yesterday at like pretty much the same time.
Oh, God. Was it this early?
Yeah.
Here it is.
A little bit later on, I'm going to lead with college football today. I'm not into Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce, so try somebody else for that.
Yeah.
I don't care less. I don't care if I don't care if Taylor Swift's nude in the box. I'm not that interested.
I don't care if she's naked in there.
Hot take. Whoa.
Hey,
for the record, guys, I care if she's naked in there.
Hey, Mad Dog, if you don't care, then why mention it at all? Just cruise on by and, talk about the other sports stuff.
Do you think some of his listeners were like, are you going to make a comment about this man? Are you gonna, because we get it sometimes when it comes to news stories that we haven't brought up because there's a lot going on in the world. But could you imagine, like, the fans of this sports show are like, you're not going to say anything, Mad Dog, about Taylor Swift naked?
And he's like, if you want to hear that, you go somewhere else. Mad Dog don't talk about that around here.
But you have to mention it to not talk about it.
Exactly.
So, just so that people know you're not talking about it. It's like, remember like early to mid 2020, before you knew just how much of an impact coronavirus was going to have on the entire world?
I remember those days.
There were people that pretended that they were just not going to talk about it.
Right.
They just were like, we're just, you're not mentioning it. We're calling it the thing.
I'm going to skip this whole thing. I'm not going to take part in this. Tips@thenewsjunkie.com. Anonymous emails with a question for us. And let's tell her what we think about this. It says, hi, Sean. Please keep me anonymous. My husband and I have been listeners since the very beginning, the Finn Henry's days even. Aww. We love and appreciate the three of you. Thank you for always brightening up our days. Now for the serious stuff. We have a neighbor from hell, Anonymous says. The details are exhausting, so I'll spare you that. But lately, he's been shouting out some of our private information through his camera system while he's inside his house so that the neighbors can hear. So I guess he has, like, the cameras have like the two-way thing, so you can talk. He's screaming out private information about them on his camera system so the other neighbors can hear this stuff.
What kind of private information could he possibly be yelling?
I don't know. They don't mention that. I'd like to hear that, though. He's a former cop, and I have the suspicion he is having his buddies looking us up illegally through whatever system Leo uses. A couple of years back, Sabrina found out her info is being illegally accessed by a law enforcement officer. Can you please ask her to share how she was able to find out? We need to know if this guy's using his buddies to get info on us. He's not smart enough to figure out how to do a background check. Thank you for any help. Keep shining, says Anonymous. We had a whole thing with that back in the day. It's called the David system. That's the computer that cops have in their car. They could search you and find your driver's license and all the information about you that they have in the system. And they are not, by law, allowed to randomly search people on that. But we found out they do that exact same thing. And during the show, they would be searching for Sabrina or whoever, and you're able to go after them. And early on, they were supposed to pay like $1,000-something, I think, per infraction that they looked somebody up like this. But then the cops changed the rules because that's what they like to do. They use their allies to change the rules so that you could only go after them no matter how many times they search for one infraction. However, if you reach out to Moses, he might be able to help you out with this, or another attorney can help you file for the David system in your name. And they'll tell you exactly how many times, Anonymous, the police have searched your name when they weren't supposed to do this. And maybe then you'll get the information that this guy's shouting out on his camera. And I don't know if he's breaking any laws or anything, but that's really, really weird.
It sounds like a doxing kind of thing.
And harassment.
That's not totally legal. Also, I would be curious to find out what the backstory is on their kind of mortal enemies that live next door to each other situation, because I don't know what they did to piss this guy off, but it seems like if he has nothing better to do than to sit in his camera and yell personal information about these people, he might not be all there right now.
Yeah, or it's just a dude with all the time in the world and all the grudges in the world. If that was my neighbor, I would be freaking out. So I feel for you, Anonymous. And we'll see. Anybody else have any experience with this? Always hit us up with the dispatch, and we'll run it by Moses DeWitt later in the week for sure. I've saved that email and put it to the side.
Be really stupid.
You can look that up.
Be really stupid if the personal information was like their address, because obviously if you're close enough to the speakers to hear it, you already know where everybody lives now.
Yeah, I want to know what they were saying without giving away the information, right? Like without you giving away any personal information. I'd love to know what the things are that the officer is saying through the camera speakers to all your neighbors. That's really unacceptable. We got a lot to get to today. Very busy Share the Show Tuesday. We're going to hear from you and your dispatches. And I want to talk about this weird-ass dentist on social media that should not be able to be practicing right now, but somehow, some way, he does. We've got that coming up next on the News Junkie.
We are Real Radio 104.1. Online at realradio.fm. On your phone with the free iHeartRadio app. And, hey Google, play Real Radio 104.1 on iHeartRadio.
I would be happy to.
What's happening? I hope your Tuesday is great so far behind the wheel in Orlando. A couple of things you should know about. The first, right now, that incident is still affecting southbound lanes of the Greenway that's approaching Landstar Boulevard, but also entry ramp to northbound lanes of the Greenway from Landstar are affected right now. Of course, your usual delay on I-4 East and westbound approaching State Road 535, and there is also an incident reported on the Central Florida Parkway in between John Young Parkway and OBT, so careful there. Our Safe Touch Security traffic tip line number is 866-676-8477. I'm Brian Black.
This report is sponsored by Wawa. Wawa has pizza. Wawa has pizza, and it's freshly made. Wawa has pizza until 3 a.m. Brought to you by Wawa, who now has pizza starting at 4 p.m. Wawa has pizza. Gotta have a Wawa.
The biggest stars in all of music shared this stage at our 2023 iHeartRadio Music Festival. Brought to you by Capital One.
Let me hear you.
Foo Fighters.
Fall Out Boy.
Kelly Clarkson.
Kane Brown.
Lil Wayne. Lil Durk. Lenny Kravitz.
Miguel.
Public Enemy.
Sheryl Crow.
Travis Scott. Tim McGraw.
TLC.
30 Seconds to Mars. The most massive live music event of the year.
See all the action now at iHeartRadio.com/festival. And get ready to relive it with an iHeartRadio Music Festival special.
Streaming on Hulu next month.
Start your family on the path to better oral health with Quip electric toothbrushes. Each Quip toothbrush has a built-in 2-minute timer that pulses every 30 seconds to help you clean your mouth evenly. Plus, Quip is water resistant, runs for 3 months on a single charge, and starts at just $20. Begin a lifetime of good habits with the Quip electric toothbrush, accepted by the American Dental Association to help reduce plaque and gingivitis. Right now, get your first floss tip refill free at getquip.com/radio. That's getquip.com/radio.
The Chase Ink Business Premier Card is made for people who make things happen, like me. I'm Sam, founder and CEO of Manifest, a product design company that makes everyday products designed smarter. I get 2.5% cash back on purchases of $5,000 or more, plus unlimited 2% cash back on all other purchases, which helps us make more smart ideas into a brilliant reality.
The Ink Business Premier Card. Learn more at chase.com/business premier. Chase for business. Make more of what's yours. Real business owner compensated for their participation. Account subject to credit approval. Restrictions and limitations apply. Cards are issued by JP Morgan Chase Bank. Any member FDIC.
A lot of schools talk about training the cybersecurity workforce of the future, but do they really deliver? My Computer Career has been supplying the IT workforce with thousands of skilled, certified pros for 15 years. Train with the experts in support, networking, or cybersecurity and start your career in months, not years. Upskill even faster. On campus or live online. Qualified students may get financial aid, including the GI Bill. My Computer Career. Accredited, acclaimed, effective. Take the free career evaluation at mycomputercareer.edu.
It's game day at Jim's house, and the spread is impressive.
Mike's already done some damage with the hot wings, and now he's dropping back and going deep for another slice of pizza.
I sure hope he brought the Pepto.
Mike knows that Pepto-Bismol provides fast 5-symptom relief from unexpected stomach upsets. He's no rookie.
The way he's throwing back those nachos, he's the GOAT.
Be ready for game day with Pepto-Bismol.
When you have nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea.
Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to goodrx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
What key is tonight going to be played in? Well, that's entirely up to you and your spirit. Over here at Wild Turkey, we're opting for something that rings true and can reverberate for ages. A little 101. Wild Turkey 101 has been pleasing crowds for decades with its iconic rich flavor. Crafted with generations of know-how and the finest ingredients. Wild Turkey. Trust your spirit. Wild Turkey Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. Copyright 2023 Campari America, New York, New York. Never compromise, drink responsibly.
Listen up. This is so easy. Do you want the most money for your used car? Of course you do. And a hassle-free process? Yeah, that's GiveMeTheVin.com. Give Me the VIN will beat your written CarMax offer or write you a check for $100. It's that simple. And Give Me the VIN is A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau and thousands of online reviews. Get an instant cash offer and the most money for your used car right now at GiveMeTheVin.com. America's best car buyer.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Do you have an idea for an invention or new product and don't know what to do next? Inventors, InventHelp can help you get started with your idea. Call 1-800-INVENTION or go to inventhelp.com to get your free inventor's information. They can help you try to patent your idea and submit it to companies. Get started with your idea today at inventhelp.com. InventHelp is the leading invention service company. With offices nationwide, they've been helping inventors since 1984. Inventors received more than 10,000 patents through their patent referral services. Don't wait to get started with your idea. For free information, contact your friends at InventHelp. Go to inventhelp.com or call 1-800-INVENTION. That's inventhelp.com or call 1-800-INVENTION. They help everyday inventors just like you. Additional services include invention websites, prototype models, technical drawings, and more. They keep your idea confidential and explain every step of their invention services. Remember, that's inventhelp.com. inventhelp.com.
It's Ice Spice season. Dunkin' is entering the charts with a new hit, the Ice Spiced Munchkin Drinks. Frozen coffee blended with pumpkin munchkins plus caramel drizzle. Whipped cream and more caramel drizzle on top. Yes, please.
Call Extreme Air and Electric. When you're in need, call the Extreme Team.
Visit Extreme Air online today at extremeairandelectrical.com for special financing available on new home comfort systems. That's your hometown Train experts online at extremeairandelectric.com today. License EAC 1817433.
Call Extreme for your air and electric. When you're in need, call the Extreme Team.
iHeart Podcast Update. This week on your free iHeartRadio app. Unimaginable Season 2. Your host, Mike, sits down with the world's most important chief executives to answer your most pressing questions about leadership, career, and life. The Mark Moss Show, helping you navigate cryptocurrency, business, and financial markets, and more. Sharp Money. This show explores two unique approaches to betting, broadcasting, and life with VSIN fan favorites Patrick Meager and Amal Shaw. Hear these podcasts and more on your free iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Win and save with 0% APR financing on new Nissans at Sutherland Nissan Orlando.
I don't know if you've seen this yet, but there's been a lot of people talking about how they quietly, very quietly, in the middle of the night, added a show to Max. It's so hard to get used to when they change these names. But the streaming service Max, formerly HBO Max, formerly, I don't know, some other things. Now
HBO
Max.
Plus, HBO, HO.
It was a journey. I don't know if it was ever Ho, but it was a lot of different things, and now it's Max. And
I haven't seen it on Max, but I read about it on X.
Right. I can't do that either. It's too weird for me to get used to that. Maybe eventually they'll bully everybody into saying it the other way, but they've added this British show that we've talked about on the program before, and it's called Naked Attraction, and they just slid this in. It's completely not safe for work if you haven't seen it yet. Maybe don't bring it up at work on your computer and start watching an episode of Naked Attraction because, as the name implies, there's some nudity involved in this. This is the one where you remember
they have to choose a date, and guys and girls go up there. And for the women, it'll be like, all right, now we're going to reveal what the guy's junk looks like. And all the guys in this line, it will show all their junk all the way down the line. And the ladies will go, okay, I want to keep this one. I want to keep this one. And then the guys get up there, same thing. They'll show their breasts. They'll show whatever. And the guys will go down and pick somebody based on that. And the most excruciating part of it is when, let's say a woman's up there and all the male stuff is out on display, the woman then has to kind of like have a chat back and forth, I guess, with the people that they dismiss when they get rid of them. So now a naked man who's just been dismissed after she saw what he's packing down there has to have the most awkward conversation in the world with the contestant that did not want them to be around any longer.
Yeah, I kind of love it.
Oh, it's so weird.
It's cringe porn, man.
People just having a conversation naked is so uncomfortable. And this makes it way weirder because there's cameras on them and everything. And this says it revolves around players who can eliminate potential dates if their birthday suit wearing bodies aren't up to his or her standards. Each contestant will then later be judged themselves while wearing no clothes. They say critical reception over the show has been steamy, with fans on social media loving the hot concept of the show, they say. This is a weird one. My effing sister just put me onto this naked attraction show, and this is the craziest S I've ever watched on TV, said somebody on X, formerly known as Twitter. There's a bunch of people that have been talking about this. That is so uncomfortable. Just the idea of that, could never, ever do that for me.
Yeah, I just don't know, like, what's the draw here? Is it
Nudity.
because you have for people
to be
to watch,
on it?
but to be on it, like, do you get a decent paycheck, or you're really looking for love that you'll try anything?
I don't know. I feel like you maybe don't, because so many of those reality shows, they don't pay them barely anything to be on there. It's like you go and you produce content for a company for months, or in this case, probably just a day. And then afterwards, you don't reap any benefits from doing so. So maybe they do get some pay. Maybe they get a little check afterwards, but they definitely get humiliated if they're not chosen for whatever reason. Their body didn't match up to what the person was looking for. I remember this being on a show. Did you guys ever watch the reality show? It was called Face Off. Did you ever see that?
I never did.
Yeah, I saw clips and stuff, but I think my mom did. I don't know.
This was a show. It was on for years on the Sci-Fi Channel, and I loved it. It was a really great show, and it was about these incredibly talented makeup artists that would do like special effects makeup for movies and TV shows. And it was just unbelievable, next level, the creatures and stuff that they would come up with. And there was one episode of this where they got a little sexy, like this naked attraction show on Max. And on this episode, they said, we're going to give you all a model, right? And the model comes over to each individual contestant. And they said, the challenge is we're going to have this backdrop. And the backdrop might be a picture of a lion on the African plains or something. And you have to make your person, your model, disappear into that background. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Like where you paint somebody up to like disappear into the background. There was one guy on it because they really were naked. And the entire time, I don't know why this guy didn't think this was going to be caught. The entire time he's trying to like fluff himself up.
Oh, buddy.
So he's like on the camera. It's like a little more. I mean, through the entire show, every time.
And no one said anything to him because they're like, we're going to use this footage for sure.
No, and he just kept going. He's like, fluff up a little bit. And I go, don't you realize they're going to use a black bar over that part? Like,
yeah, but it's going to be a bigger black bar.
Yeah, maybe.
If I have anything to do with that.
Yeah, maybe that's what they're going for. But that is making some waves out there on Max, the naked attraction show that people are starting to watch. Also, there is this dentist. Now, I know you guys watch some of these people as we get through some of this viral stuff today.
Are you talking about Mr. Smile, aren't you?
Yeah, I am talking about him, actually. You know that you were familiar with this guy already?
Oh, and I'm familiar with what a douchebag he is.
Okay, this guy is weird.
He is very strange.
Have you seen the videos where he's like talking to mostly women? And here's the idea of his stuff. Just like they have, what's the doctor? Is it Miami doctor? Dr. Miami?
But Dr. Miami seems like a little bit more personable and kind to people than this Mr. Smile. And I don't know how he was able to last as long as he was with his helping people fix their teeth and not getting caught up in what an absolute asshole he is.
Well, this guy, there's a bunch of videos exposing him as of the last several days. And he does these things just like Dr. Miami, where it's like, here's the patient, here's how bad things are, maybe like Botched, the television show or something. And here's how we're going to help them out. But the way he talks to them is creepy and like very casting couchy, and he tries to get them to cry all the time.
And then he just like, he zooms in on their teeth and he's like, oh my God, like, when's the last time you've been laid? Oh, fine. Like, that's disgusting. Like, and then they're laughing. It's uncomfortable, you could tell.
And it's totally real. Like, you could tell they are not faking this.
Right. And I mean, some of the teeth are need some work.
Yes, and the work that he does is good. It's quality. They look so much better. But he is weird. He is creepy. And the story for NBC News says a Texas dentist who is known for his brash, edgy humor on social media, where he has hundreds of thousands of followers, has been accused of bullying and sexual harassment by several women who say they received inappropriate messages from his official social media accounts. He's Dr. Smiles, or Dr. Kenny Smiles Official on TikTok, and he shares this stuff on social media. The videos typically show a person in the dentist chair discussing how their teeth got to the state they're in, and then the video cuts to the patient gazing over their perfect new smile. They get hundreds of thousands of views on these different platforms, but he's treating people really strangely. I'm trying to get the best example, but here's one of them where this woman in Texas, she wants to get her smile fixed. So she goes over to him, and she's obviously like super upset about this. Here she is.
Kelsey, what are you here for today?
Top dentures.
Top dentures.
How old are you?
I'm 22.
Who'd you bring with you today?
My mom.
Why is he talking like that? Who speaks like that? This is not like bedside manner for Dr. Who did you bring with you today?
Oh, yeah?
What are you
guys
here for?
Do a little kissing?
What's going on with you today? It's very, very weird the way he talks to these people.
He will, I'm just letting you know, start cursing at some point.
Oh, really? In this one? Oh,
I don't know in this one, but he often does it because he's Mr. Edgy guy. And it's like, look at your stupid effing mouth. But, and you see that these, like, it's obviously mostly women, have dealt through, been through a lot when it comes to their smiles. Like, and we've even talked about other people who have given people new smiles and how life-changing that is.
Yeah,
and
because it's miserable to live your life like that, where you don't want to open your mouth and smile or laugh at anything.
And taking full advantage, and I think the most recent controversy is that he posts and he's like, got a new TV show coming up, and so I'm going to accept any sort of audition through social media. And this one girl gives her story, starts crying a lot, and then I guess like he followed her. She messages and puts the screenshots up. It's like, oh my gosh, I didn't think that I even had a chance. Like, sorry, I was such a crying mess. And his response, the first thing was, I just wanted to have sex with you.
Oh, yeah. There's a bunch of these like screenshots in this story from NBC News.
Do you think these people that are going on his channel or that you're getting filmed by him are getting any sort of incentive, any sort of discount on their care?
Free smile.
Yes, I think it's free. I think he does it for free for a lot of these people because he gets the social media content of it. But he knows that he's got like an advantage and power over them because they're desperate to get this thing fixed. They know that he can do it, and they also know that they can't afford it without him doing this for them. So they'll put up with more, even when he's doing this. Like the way he talks, oh my God.
Kelsey, what are you here for today?
What are you here for, Kelsey?
Top dentures.
You're going to get top dentures?
Yeah, who's with you, Kelsey?
How old are you?
I'm 22.
Who'd you bring with you today?
My mom.
He's like, it's a character I'm playing.
So creepy, man.
So your character is Mr. Creepy Man? This NBC News spoke with 4 women about their experiences with Dr. Smiles. And one is, he's 43 years old, the doctor. 2 women who were prospective patients said they received sexually explicit messages sent from his account, but never met with him in person. Another woman said she received bullying messages from his account on social media. A 4th woman said she filed a complaint against him after he swore at her and told her that her dental problems were in her head. And he's been sued for medical malpractice. One woman says he touched her inappropriately
man.
She was in his office, and there's a trial, right? So there's a whole thing. There's going to be a trial for this. But if you just go through the rabbit hole of Dr. Smile on YouTube, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. And it's not like, oh, that's a weird one. He talks to the women like that in all of these videos.
And has been getting away with it.
Yeah, and he's still able to practice. I don't know if he, well, I would imagine, but this is a question worth asking. If he's convicted of inappropriately touching a patient during a procedure, I would have to imagine that you would maybe lose your license to
absolutely
do dentistry if that was the case, or at least would hope there would be some punishment like that. But you may see the takedowns of this guy all over social media in the next couple of days and weeks here.
I'd also be curious how often he's working for money as opposed to doing the jobs for free to get all these, to turn around and get money from YouTube and social media. Like, is he somehow operating his dentistry practice at a loss? He's got to pay for insurance, and he's going to have to pay for these malpractice lawsuits.
Yeah, but I think he's also doing this thing where you release it, and then you're the viral smile doctor, and then people who are willing to pay are like, that guy does good stuff, he can fix me, and then they go and pay, and they don't want to be on a video or anything. So not just views and ads on YouTube or anything, much more so the new clients that he would be bringing in would be tons of money for him, because I don't know what it costs to get your teeth completely redone, but I know it's not cheap. I know it's a very expensive thing to do, and that guy's just a little bit too strange for me. All right, let's go over to you. Your dispatches. Dylan is sending it to dispatch, not my son Dylan, a different one. And he says, you're wrong about Russell Brand. Okay, let's see what Dylan says.
He's a hero.
I just can't help but feel like you guys are missing the point with Russell Brand.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you agree that it's okay to want to wait for more evidence, before jumping to any conclusions. But why is it that as soon as this stuff comes out, YouTube is able to demonetize his channel? Who made social media the judge, jury, and executioner? And Russell Brand's right or wrong, but what happened in due process?
Mm-hmm.
How are they able to just cut off his income like that? They even reached out about canceling his TikTok or demonetizing it. So I don't know. It's weird. I think there's more at play than what you guys are giving it credit for, though.
Thank you, Dylan. I don't think he's being targeted because of his YouTube channel or anything like that. I do think it's weird, but it's their terms of service. YouTube
Their
says
business, baby.
YouTube says you can be demonetized for off-platform behavior. So that means just because nothing in your videos violated any of their terms of service, if you just do anything that YouTube doesn't like, or if they don't like the press around you, they can demonetize your channel. And I'll remind you that, Dylan, this has happened a bunch in the past, and it's happened to, I think James Charles was the one I mentioned earlier.
One of the Pauls, the Logan.
Logan Paul, or whoever was the one who found the person hanging in that forest. And they tend to do this when there's a big controversy going on. And then if it comes out that this was all nonsense, it wasn't true, or the wind just blows past the story and we go on to something else, they usually revisit that, and it's not like a forever kind of thing. And I think there could be issues with that. Like, you could end up in a situation where you go, I didn't do anything that violated your terms of service, but you don't like something I was accused of, so now I lose all my monetization. But in this case, I think they don't want the press around it to be attached to them. And he's been going over on Rumble, and I guess he's trying to get people to subscribe to whatever he has happening now for like $40-something, or I don't know. He's trying to make some money off this thing with the attention on it. But this is not good for him, because London police are now saying they're looking into a number of allegations that they've heard about Russell Brand. It'll all play out. All this will play out, and you'll see at the end if you believe him or if you believe the people who are saying that he was doing these things. Over to Ryan with a dispatch about that Naked Attraction show.
You guys were talking about Naked Attraction, and Sabrina asked, why would someone want to be on it? And I can't help but feel like the personalities that are on that show are all going to be just the most narcissistic, just self-image obsessed people in the world, just trying to prove no one would never not choose me. I think it's going to be an insufferable show, but I'll probably watch it.
Yeah, that's why they're doing it. That's why it plays into it. I just don't understand why. Let's say there was a man who was not very well endowed, and it was clear that this was the case, because there's guys like that end up on the show, and you're like, what makes that guy want to be on the show?
They're really good at mop.
Maybe he's going to argue that. I have no idea, but that to me is strange, because a lot of them you go, wow, this is not really looking great for you right now, but you're still putting yourself out there in front of the world. Here's Banana Potato chiming in about the same thing.
Hey, junkies.
Hey.
I'm like really tempted to check out this naked attraction, and I know it's not going to be good for me. Like, I know it's just not going to be good to have all that floating around in my brain. My boyfriend gives me enough trouble as is for watching Love Island, but I can't stop, and I don't know why.
You're addicted.
Like, I try to even it out and watch like nature shows. You know what I mean? A little Edinburgh talk. Try to teach myself some new things, but I always end up going back to bikini-clad young people just making out on TV, and I'm a little disappointed in that. So thanks for letting me know of the new show.
I love when you do that with your television. You like self-judge. You're like, oh God, why am I watching this? And then afterwards,
I've been watching it for 8 hours straight.
So I'll watch an episode of Planet Earth to like wash away all the bad that I just watched and make myself feel like, I'm still an intellectual out there.
To the dispatcher, like 2 dispatchers ago, saying it's all going to be narcissists. That's what I found to be so interesting for that hot body, or the one where they're all on the beach. And if they want to win the big prize, they cannot have any sort of sexual contact with another contestant.
Yeah, it was a reality show where the contest wasn't to try to have sex; it was to try not to have sex.
And then
you're so hot.
And then leading up to the big reveal that's the show that they're on, like they're just talking to each other, and I don't know. Maybe I'm just a different person than they are, but they're like. You get a couple drinks in them, and they're talking about sex. Oh, I just couldn't go this long without having sex. Wonder if I'd like to have sex skydiving sometime. That'd be cool.
There's some incel watching who's never been laid in his life, and these people are like, oh my God, it's so hard not to do this right now. Okay, when we get back, we're here for more of you. Also, Hollywood Brad chimes in. He's got an update for what's happening in Hollywood for us. And we'll also talk about something happening in the world of poker that I thought was insane. That is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Insert promo line to get listeners to follow the Real Radio 1041 Instagram account. I'll fix that later. Powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
This weather report is brought to you by Mills Air.
I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Allison Gargaro with a look at your Central Florida forecast. Afternoon highs today reaching the upper 80s. It's going to be warm and humid. Shower and thunderstorm chances on the rise, mainly after 3 o'clock. We're looking at 70% coverage, the chance for heavy rain, frequent lightning, as well as gusty winds. We always say when thunder roars, head indoors. Want to make sure everybody is staying safe on this Tuesday evening. I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Allison Gargaro.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. If you're like many people, you may think custom blinds is a job for expensive professionals. Well, at Blindster, if you have a tape measure and a screwdriver, you can install our custom blinds and save big. Plus, we guarantee they'll fit. Blindster.com.
Well, it's arguably the most important part of your house as a homeowner. You really, really want your air conditioning to be something that works and works correctly and works efficiently. But that's not always happening. And that's why you need the experts, the pros over at Mills Air, who will guide you through this. And if you're just kind of questioning whether or not your AC is working the way it should, maybe it's been making some noises, maybe it's been a little warmer than it should be, call up and schedule the preventative maintenance plan. And they'll come out, the Mills Air technicians. They're the best of the best. They'll go through your AC no matter what brand it is, and they'll get you back up in working order. They do that for all kinds of people every single day. And they're honest and fair, and that's important to me. I know it's important to you, too. They're also a Carrier factory authorized dealer. Why is that important? Well, that means they can get you up to $1,275 in rebates toward a brand new Carrier unit. You can always turn to the experts at Carrier, and you can always turn to family-owned and operated Mills Air. 407-277-1159, or go to their website for more information. It's millsair.com.
Your industry is unique. It faces its own challenges and risks that set it apart. That means choosing just any insurance company just won't cut it. At The Hartford, we take pride in knowing the ins and outs of your industry and help provide solutions that suit how you do business, from liability and property insurance to workers' comp and more. At The Hartford, we don't just talk about specialization, we live it. Learn how The Hartford can help your business at thehartford.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts' new Brake Best Select Pro brand raises the bar for the best aftermarket domestic brake pads and rotors available. For vehicle-specific friction formulations, Quiet-Tech noise-canceling shims, and stainless steel hardware, choose Brake Best Select Pro. Professional-grade brakes from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Attorney Joe Cordell.
Divorce forces a father to focus on what's most important, his children. In the divorce process, this comes down to three key concerns: physical custody, decision-making, as well as financial support. Each of these is important, and it's important that you choose a lawyer that cares as much about these issues as you do.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Orlando area attorneys. Office in Orlando. Lisa Cargis, Florida resident partner. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois only. CordellCordell.com.
Major phone carriers make you sign contracts with rigid data plans to trap you into a kind of forced phonogamy. Sounds pretty insecure if you ask me. At Consumer Cellular, we believe in a more consensual and healthy form of phonogamy, free of contracts and more flexible to your data needs. This way, you stick around not because we force you to with contracts and fees, but because you love our phone plans. Like ardently love our phone plans. Phonogamously. Consumer Cellular. When freedom calls, we're here to answer. Call us at 1-888-FREEDOM.
Hello, I'm Greg Figueroa.
And I'm David Figueroa. Over 30 years ago, my brother Greg and I set out on a mission to offer the world a better hot sauce.
That's right, David. We made Melinda's thicker, hotter, and better than ordinary hot sauces.
And now we have 32 exciting and delicious sauces that hot sauce fans are obsessed with, like our ghost pepper sauce, our Thai sweet chili, and our best-selling black truffle hot sauce.
Melinda's also has 5 spicy ketchups made with real sugar and no added junk like high fructose corn syrup. People ask David and I, what makes Melinda so good? That's easy. We think like chefs do. Instead of burning someone with hot peppers and vinegar, we use fresh plant-based ingredients and the finest chili peppers perfectly blended to set your mouth on flavor.
Go to melindas.com to find our line of craft condiments at Walmart and other fine retailers. And right now, get a 10-pack of our best-selling sauces with free shipping at melindas.com. That's melindas.com. melindas.com.
Recovery from addiction can take many forms, and quite often, it's a team effort. For those in recovery, having support often leads to a better outcome. And for those supporting people in recovery, they celebrate every milestone. Here's to family, friends, loved ones, healthcare providers, and community groups who are essential to helping people find their path to recovery. If you or someone you know is experiencing addiction, visit cdc.gov/stop-overdose to learn more about the various treatment options available.
Jesse Kelly here. Do you feel protected? My personal protection plan is owning gold. The Oxford Gold Group helps you buy gold to have on hand or convert it into your 401k. If things get weird, I have gold on hand. I like that. You can buy coins or convert part of your 401k with the Oxford Gold Group. It's easy and safe. 833-995-GOLD. That's 833-995-GOLD. 833-995-GOLD.
Wawa has pizza. Wawa has pizza, and it's freshly made. Wawa has pizza until 3 a.m. Brought to you by Wawa, who now has pizza starting at 4 p.m. Wawa has pizza. Gotta have a Wawa.
This hour of Real Radio 104.1, sponsored by FloridaJobsNow.com, coming October 11th.
We'll get to you and your dispatches in just a moment. Send yours at thenewsjunkie.com. First, Hollywood Brad chimes in to tips at thenewsjunkie.com. He's talking about what we're discussing. There was a deal. They made a deal between the Writers Guild and the Hollywood, the big streamers and the big
media outlets that they were negotiating with, and now it's just the actors that are left. And he says to tipsofthenewsjunkie.com, you guys were talking about what may happen with the actors after the writers' strike is over. And my opinion is they'll probably make a deal pretty quickly. And there are a couple of reasons for that. One is the actors and writers have a lot of the same concerns. They're both worried about AI taking their jobs, and they're both trying to get a better deal on residuals for streaming. Since the writers seem to have gotten a deal they like for both those things, it makes sense the actors would get a similarly good deal without too much haggling, since the studios have already done that for the writers, which totally makes sense. Like, if they've cleared that out for one side of this, they'll probably just, do the same thing on the other side with the actors.
Well, it makes me wonder if the studios, because they're fighting two battles at the same time, if they maybe wanted to agree to less for the writers because they know they're going to have to match for the actors a little bit. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, because they're going to have to lose on both sides, but I'm sure they thought of all of this. The other reason I think it'll get solved quickly is the studios completely botched the PR related to the strike. I haven't heard of anybody in the business or not who's on the side of the studios. They try to demonize the writers as greedy and entitled, but that completely backfired. They're so out of touch with working people that they thought they would have public support. But the working public can see right through the BS, and now the studios look like the greedy corporations they are. That's right. I mean, I talked about this when this all started. I said, I think it was like 67%. That's a high number, 67%. That's the vast majority of people were siding with the writers, even though it's a Hollywood thing and people want to hate Hollywood. Most people, their opinions of stuff like this is based on some weird radical thing that has been tossed out to them. So, for instance, a lot of people who are conservative dislike unions. Why do they dislike unions? Because they picture the entrepreneurial guy or gal who has started their company, and they built this company up, and now they got like 100 employees, and now the employees unionize, and then they end up having more power than the person who started all this and invested the most in the business. And because people to the right of center tend to be individualists, they don't like this. But the fact is, the vast majority of union stuff is just people who work for companies trying to get their fair share, when these big corporations try to pay people the very least that they possibly can. And most people see that. Now, unions do get wild and ask for too much. Like, I think the auto union thing, I think they're asking for quite a bit in that particular instance. Though they may just be asking for a lot to negotiate and work down to something that they'll actually accept. Anyhow, back to Hollywood Brad. He says, if they had a clue what actual normal people who work for a hard living felt about this situation, they never would have gone in that direction. But they're clueless and shot themselves in the foot. If you're a studio CEO making tens or hundreds of millions of dollars a year, you can't pretend to have a clue. You can't pretend to have a clue what somebody who works 80 hours a week and makes $100,000 a year is thinking or feeling about their job. Now, this is a problem that they have a lot of the time. And what they want to do, another example of like you usually forming your opinion based on a radical form of unions, the studios want you to think that, man, these rich Hollywood actors like Leonardo DiCaprio are so greedy that they just want more and more money. And the Writers Guild puts out there like, look at the people on the picket line. Do you know who any of these people are? No, for the most part, you don't know who any of them are because they're not super famous. They're just trying to eke out a living over here. A lot of them aren't super rich, and they want a little bit more. There's a wide variety of incomes in the guild. So, yeah, I think he's right. I think they'll solve that pretty quickly and get back to making stuff like Silo Season 2. I'm going to keep putting that out there until it's done. In the world of poker, you guys follow the world of poker at all?
No.
Me either.
The last time I followed anything, it was the controversy of the guy who maybe had something in his butt.
That was chess.
Yeah, that was chess, but
And
also
never mind that.
No, also there was a female chess player who played a hand so bad in one that they thought she was cheating, and they also suggested that she might have had some kind of device inside of her telling her what the cards were. So both of those are accurate. I remember stories, but little else sticks with me. There is a pro poker player who had terminal cancer and said, I just want to play in the World Series of Poker tournament in Las Vegas. That's it. I have stage 4 colon cancer. It's really, really bad.
That was their Make-A-Wish?
Basically, they said, I'm going to put up a GoFundMe. This person was known in the poker world, I guess. Rob Mercer. He says, stage 4 colon cancer. I just need $10,000. It's my wish to play in this no limit hold'em world championship. and people threw in a ton of money. He raised somewhere about $30,000 to $50,000. They said somewhere between 30 and 50 grand.
All you need is 10, right, to get in?
Yeah, and including a stay at a suite in the Bellagio.
Okay.
Even a fellow player from Arizona who suffers from chronic illness himself donated $2,500 to this poker player. Poker player was lying the whole time.
Oh, no.
And admitted it.
He was bluffing.
He was bluffing. He was bluffing about his stage 4 cancer diagnosis, and he's admitting that he was lying right now.
Man.
And then he said, I'm not giving back any of the money.
The hell you're not.
And when I saw that, I go, can you
That's illegal.
do that?
Isn't that fraud?
Yeah, it seems like it would be fraudulent because you're raising for something that you didn't have to begin with. But he just went out and said, I'm not giving it back.
That's got to be on the Mo list for sure. There has to be charges for that, I imagine. Now, GoFundMe obviously gave him the money already. So
yeah, they paid out the money. He got the money, and he's saying, "Look, hey, I lied. I admit that I lied about all of this, but too bad, so sad. I'm not giving any of the money back."
I wonder if he was careful to word his fundraiser in such a way, because if you had said, "I have this really rare form of cancer." And the operation for it is going to cost me $150,000. And then everybody gets together, bands together, and they raise the money, and you get $150,000, and you blow it on, a vacation, a private jet, whatever, whatever you're doing. And you go, okay, he raised the money for A, but spends it on B. If his GoFundMe says, I have cancer, and the last thing I want to do is play in the World Series of Poker. I need money to play in the World Series of Poker and to stay at the Bellagio. He raised money for A, and he did A. He just happened to lie on the side.
Yeah, but isn't that kind of big? The impetus for all those donations is not that this guy dreamed of going to the World Series of Poker. It's that he was doing it as his final wish because he was dying. That's what drove the donations, right?
It is. So I just wonder if maybe he lawyered everybody, or is there a situation in which he does actually get heavily sued?
He could, but I'm not sure what the rules would be around this. He says, I'm sorry for not being honest about what my situation was.
I think as a poker player, he shouldn't be sorry about it.
He said, if I would have done that from day one, who knows what would have happened. The 37-year-old says he won't be refunding anybody because he believes he has undiagnosed breast cancer.
He believes it. Oh, okay.
He's not gone to get checked. He's not gone to any doctor.
I'm pretty sure, you guys.
So he's like, hey, I don't have the colon cancer, the stage 4 cancer that I said I did, but I'm feeling like I got some breast cancer going on here. So I'm not going to get that checked out, but I am going to be keeping these monies, if you don't mind.
That's such BS.
Yeah, I can't believe that you can do that if you can. And if you can, there needs to be a lot more regulations on some of these GoFundMe type websites because you're scamming people. You're legalizing scamming people because that's what happened to the individuals who donated to this guy. What do you think should happen to him? Let us know. Go to thenewsjunkie.com and hit record on your first dispatch right now. An insanely awkward situation on a flight that may have happened to you. How do you handle this when it happens? That's what we're going to sort through, and it's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Displaying a level of apathy that can only be achieved through years of studying. Okay, guess you don't want to be petted. Cats. Real Radio 104.1.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
What's happening? I hope your Tuesday is going great so far. Right now, on the major highways and roads of Orlando, a couple of things going on. Of course, your usual delay east and westbound on I-4 approaching State Road 535, but eastbound lanes of Sand Lake Road are completely closed right now due to an incident that's at Weingard Road. Seek an alternate route. Right now, we are still seeing reports of an incident at John Young Parkway in the intersection of Holden Avenue. Our Safe Touch Security traffic tip line number is 866-676-8477. I'm Brian Black with your report.
This report is sponsored by Macy's Backstage. What will you find at Macy's Backstage? Here's a hint. Fall finds for $25 and under, like sharp blazers, cozy sweaters, cargo pants, jackets, and more. Find the latest trends and new arrivals at a Macy's Backstage store near you.
Join the Jim Colbert Show at Sunset Walk for the Best of Challenge, Sandwich Edition. This Saturday, September 30th at the Promenade. 10 venues competing to be crowned the best sandwich of Sunset Walk. VIP tasting tickets on sale now at sunsetwalk.com. Spectators and parking are free. Plus, the band Switch, street performers, street market, and car show. The Best of Challenge Sandwich Edition this Saturday with the Jim Colbert Show starting at noon at Sunset Walk. Go to sunsetwalk.com for more details.
Your dentist recommends flossing your teeth once a day, but 70% of us ignore this advice because traditional flossing can be, well, a hassle. But Quip's rechargeable water flosser turns you into a flossing fanatic. With gentle and deep clean pressure modes, the Quip water flosser delivers feel-good flossing, and its clutter-free design includes a long-lasting charge and a 360-degree floss tip for hard-to-reach spots. Right now, get your first floss tip refill free at getquip.com/radio. That's getquip.com/radio.
Ford, Chevy, Ram, GMC, Nations Trucks has got them all, and with approved credit, you're not making any payments until 2024. Do yourself a favor, visit nationstrucks.com and check out their amazing inventory right now, or see them in Sanford and start driving the truck that you deserve today.
Just come out, the man when you're in trouble. Car accidents, slips and falls, he's the only one that you should call. Just come out, when you're injured on the go.
Orlando attorney Mo DeWitt, sung by a non-attorney spokesperson.
It's Ice Spice season, and what are you waiting for? Dunkin' is entering the charts with a new hit, the Ice Spice Munchkins drink. This is the drink that everyone's been waiting for. Frozen coffee blended with pumpkins munchkins, plus caramel drizzle, whipped cream, and more caramel drizzle on top. Yes, please. Pop into your local Dunkin' or order on the app today. So it's time to get a head start on the Ice Spice season with the Ice Spice Munchkins drink. America runs on Munchkins?
Price and participation may vary. Limited time offer. Terms apply.
Stella Artois wants to know, who would you have dinner with? Join the Stella team at The Whiskey on Sand Lake Road this Friday, September 29th from 6 until 8 for an opportunity to let them know who you'd have dinner with, from the past, present, or future, and why. Then start your dinner with a complimentary Stella Artois and chalice. Simply snap the QR code for details on your chance to win dinner on Stella from one of 10 participating restaurants. Let's do dinner, and as always, let's start with a Stella.
Every day, you breathe in thousands of microscopic germs, allergens, and viruses. Don't let these invisible invaders make breathing through your nose impossible. Flush them out with Navage. Navage uses powered suction to pull saline in one nostril around the back of the nose and out the other nostril, helping flush out all the nasty things that make you miserable. Nearly 4 million people use Navage to breathe better, snore less, and feel healthier. People like Cindy, a verified Navage user who writes, I've had such awful nasal congestion for the last couple years. I bought Navage and OMG, I can breathe again. I love this thing. Goodbye, Neti Pot. Hello, Navage. End quote. If you suffer from sinus congestion, allergies, or snoring, then Navage is the safe, drug-free solution you've been looking for. Navage is at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, and Navage.com. Navage. Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
Major phone carriers make you sign contracts with rigid data plans to trap you into a kind of forced phonogamy. Sounds pretty insecure if you ask me. At Consumer Cellular, we believe in a more consensual and healthy form of phonogamy, free of contracts and more flexible to your data needs. This way, you stick around not because we force you to with contracts and fees, but because you love our phone plans. Like ardently love our phone plans. Phonogamously. Consumer Cellular. When freedom calls, we're here to answer. Call us at 1-888-FREEDOM.
Listen up. This is so easy. Do you want the most money for your used car? Do you want a hassle-free process? Of course you do. Give Me the VIN is A+ rated by the BBB. That's Better Business Bureau, baby, and thousands of online reviews. Give Me the VIN will beat your written CarMax offer or write you a check for $100. It's that simple. Get the most money for your used car right now at GiveMeTheVIN.com. America's best car buyer.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVIN.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
It's game day at Jim's house, and the spread is impressive.
Mike's already done some damage with the hot wings, and now he's dropping back and going deep for another slice of pizza.
I sure hope he brought the Pepto.
Mike knows the Pepto-Bismol provides fast 5-symptom relief from unexpected stomach upsets. He's no rookie.
The way he's throwing back those nachos, he's the GOAT.
Be ready for game day with Pepto-Bismol.
When you have nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea.
Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Do you have AC needs? Turn to the experts at Carrier. Go to millsair.com.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind Studios. Why Kaufman and Lind? Find out at whenyouneedus.com or dial pound 546 on your cell phone. This is WTKS FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Listen on your free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts.
In this situation, now we've all been on a flight, obviously. We've all flown somewhere. Two of us, myself and Sabrina, aren't really thrilled about the whole prospect of flying.
Yeah.
But C-Lane doesn't care about much of anything. He's not easily frazzled.
He's chill.
I enjoy it.
Usually just chilling. He's got turbulence and he's hanging out and smiling and sipping on his drink. Only worried about being, having his day interrupted by some sort of delay. That would be a bigger issue, I think, to C-Lane.
That's very annoying to have a delay. When was the last time you were delayed?
Last time I flew, I think I was delayed for 3 or 4 hours, but that was one of the only delays I've ever had, knock on all of the wood, because for other people, you seem to get hit up all the time on this. But what do you do in this situation? When you guys fly, do you bring like an iPad or anything with you?
I have in the past, but typically never get to it anyway. So I'm hoping that they have a TV in front of me. And if not, I'll look on my phone.
So if you're watching on your phone or you're watching on your iPad and you select a movie to watch, all right, you're going to sit there on the flight. You're going to watch this movie. But the movie that you select, maybe it's not on the in-flight multimedia thing. Maybe it's just something else that you have or you've downloaded. And as you're watching it, you go, oh, no, I know what's coming up.
A naked scene.
There's a sex scene coming up
that's how I felt
in this movie.
With watching, what was the... Hitler was a funny character. We all loved it. Something Rabbit with...
Jojo Rabbit.
Jojo Rabbit.
Mm-hmm.
And Jojo Rabbit, it was, a wonderful movie. If you haven't watched it, please do. But when you have all the rows behind you and you see funny Hitler... prancing around, then it's like, what is this woman watching?
I'll do you one better. I watched the episode of The Office where they had the first Dundies at Chili's, and I was sitting next to a nice young gentleman of Asian descent, and I forgot that the Ping character was coming up soon.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Luckily, he was very into whatever video game he was playing or whatever it was. So I was like, for a second there, I was like, is he looking over?
Now, did you just stay stoic in that moment and not like try to fast forward?
Yes.
But you just went for it.
Any sudden movement would bring attention that didn't need to be there.
I have never had this with like a raunchy scene, but people are saying like fighting over what is the best way to handle that on a flight. I have had that before where there was a scene coming up in a thing that I was watching. I don't know if it was a show or a movie. But as I'm sitting there watching, I go, oh, my God, there's an incredibly dramatic plane crash coming up in this movie. And for my own sake, I don't want to watch an incredibly dramatic plane crash while I'm on a plane. I'm going to skip past this. But do you think when you're watching shows like that, should you just do what C-Lane did? And you're like, well, this is the movie I'm watching. There's a sex scene right here. So be it.
Well, I think we talked about last year or so, because somebody chimed in and said that they watched this on a plane, but Everything Everywhere All at Once was available in the in-flight system for one of the major air carriers.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I wonder, we were kind of speculating on the air, I wonder if they censor some of these, for, sex scenes or weird sort of nudity. And there's a particular scene in Everything Everywhere All at Once where there's a trophy that these people have at the office that is shaped in such a way. And because to jump between the different realities or whatever, to activate whatever powers they have and everything, they have to do the most random thing thinkable. There's a man who sits on as many of these trophies as he can find.
Sure.
Right.
And
it's a sex toy. It's a sex toy that would show up, and you go, what do I do here? I think what I would do is I would look around and I would go, are there any children within eye shot of the screen that I have in front of me? And if it's all adults around me, who cares? But if there's a little kid, I think I would be like, all right, let me fast forward past this.
The last flight was on the way back from Atlanta when I went to go see Beyonce. I threw on the latest Magic Mike in the franchise. Also not something...
That's a strange one.
People should be around, but I couldn't bring myself to look around and stop it because I feel like the moment I start moving my body, I'm drawing more attention. So it's just like, I'm going to stare at the screen and hope everyone else is doing the same.
Is there also a level to it where you go, hey, how about not look at my screen?
Yeah,
how about not like eavesdrop on me and look at what I'm watching? If you mind your own business, you're not going to see anything.
But if you were watching like full-on pornography, could you make that same argument?
No, you wouldn't be. I think that would be inappropriate.
Now,
I think there's a big difference between reading or watching that versus reading or watching something that's like artistically done or like in a movie scene.
But I do tend to think that some of the stuff that's available to passengers as part of your flight isn't so much edited as you thought it could be or should be. Alicia on YouTube says, I watched Forgetting Sarah Marshall on our flight last week. Now, she didn't say whether or not this was something she brought with her or something that was available on the flight. And I briefly wondered what everyone around me thought of the full Jason Segel dong shot at the beginning.
That's true. He's got a full frontal scene.
Really long sex scene in that, too. Multiple positions.
Yeah, and if you have that on, it's always a little uncomfortable. And you go, what am I supposed to do in this moment?
Why am I horny 30,000 feet in the air?
And all the people around you. Well, we know people are jerks on planes. The story yesterday about the couple that said, we don't drink, so we'd prefer, since you're sitting next to us in this aisle, if you didn't drink as well. We don't want you to drink either. That kind of stuff is like huge asks, weird expectations of how people around you are going to behave. And so I think there will be people who, if you try to do this, will go, hey, you can't do that. I don't want to be exposed to that content. Mind your own business. Look at something else. Get your own iPad. Get your own phone. Use the in-flight entertainment to stare at your screen, and then you won't have to watch this. You won't be subjected to it. But a lot of people fighting about that all over the social media platforms today.
Instagram, Twitter, y'all see this?
That one, too. I did not know this was a big threat to us, but I guess it actually is. This happened in Jupiter, and in Jupiter, Florida, we got to be careful. We got to be on edge. Gotta watch out for things, because there was a man who was just walking his dog, just hanging out, and he gets attacked. Now, any guesses on what attacked this guy and his dog? What do you think it would be?
Is there any more clues? Like, did he end up in the hospital?
I'm going to tell you this. It wasn't another dog that attacked him and his dog.
But it was an animal.
It was an animal, yes.
Is it surprising?
It was very surprising to me.
Ooh.
I did not know this was a fear that we should have.
Tasmanian devils.
It was not a Tasmanian devil. Would have been big if true, though. If it was a
that would have been
Tasmanian
incredibly
devil.
surprising. You're like, you don't think of Jupiter, Florida as the place you just run into Tasmanian devils.
Is it an animal that you could beat up, Sean?
I think I might be able to punt this thing and maybe get away from it, but honest to God, I don't know what I would do if this animal attacked me.
Raccoon attack.
Not a raccoon.
Otter.
It was an otter. It was a river otter.
Oh, nice.
And
you can't punt an otter.
It was, hell yeah, I could punt an otter.
You're
Otters are mean, man.
Otters are big.
They
They
are.
will mess you up.
How big do you think an otter is?
Otters could get to be,
Under 20 pounds, probably, right? An otter is not super big.
How big can an
when you say you're punting this otter, like I'm imagining somebody punts a football.
Buddy.
Are you moving the animal
It's
a
going to
significant
go
distance?
At least if I punted it on my driveway, it'd go at least across the road.
No, it wouldn't. Adult river otters weigh between 10 to 33 pounds, or about 2.5 to 5 feet in length.
5 feet long.
You're going to punt a 30-pound, 5-foot otter across the street?
I could try. I think I could do it. I think I could kick it at least a foot or two, but it might wrap around my leg when I do it.
Is the otters the one that have gonorrhea, or is that something
That's
different?
koalas.
Yeah, that's not the river otters.
I thought one of the sea animals that's kind of like that has one of those things.
This one had something else. It had rabies, and it bit this guy and his dog. It says, according to Palm Beach County Animal Care and Control reports, an officer was called. It was 11:18 in the morning after police said the otter was trapped under a recycling bin in a driveway.
It was scared.
The animal control officer arrived at the scene and let the animal loose and was able to capture it with a net later, and they transferred it to an animal carrier. The report said the animal was showing signs that were abnormal, acting hyperactive. In the transfer carrier, it bared its teeth and was biting the metal of the carrier, the officer said. A 74-year-old man was bitten by this thing. No, it had rabies. It was freaking out. They said, well, walking back toward his property, he heard all the ducks fly away. When he turned around, he saw an otter by the bank. It began to back up slowly while still facing the otter, and it attacked him for several minutes, which is a long time to be attacked by an otter, if you can imagine this. Might not sound like it, but consider how long a minute is when there's an animal attacking you the entire time. This is a full round in boxing, friends, that this otter was attacking this 74-year-old man. He said he backed up along the fence, but when I started to close the gate, it charged, immediately attacking my legs. He was bitten on both arms and both legs. He said, as I started to push it away and it started to bite my hands, one of the bites I have is on my pinky, and it ripped the nail right off my pinky finger. The tooth went completely through my finger. He had a series of shots for rabies exposure and is going to some surgeons. And the dog, I don't know about the dog. I don't know if the dog's okay. Maybe that thing just scurried away or something. But these things are dangerous when they're rabid like this. And then obviously they're going to put the animal down. But I didn't even know we had to worry about that. I don't know, it was a thing that we had to be concerned about.
This might be a rare case because typically they leave you alone.
Have you ever seen an otter in the wild?
Yes, it was the cutest thing in the whole world.
Really?
Yes.
I've only in Vermont have I seen an otter in the wild. I've never seen one anywhere else that I've been.
Rainbow River, a little bit north of Central Florida by the Ocala area, saw an otter. There are some in like the Orlando area, that's for sure. But it's like you leave them alone, they'll leave you alone. But if you try to get near it, just like the bison at Yellowstone, they will attack you. They're very protective.
Unless they have rabies. When they have rabies, it changes.
And if they're stuck under a recycling bin, I would be upset too.
No, he was stuck under a recycle bin because the old man had no way to trap him except for that. He said, I gotta get this thing.
Got it. That makes a little bit more sense.
They wanted to analyze the otter to make sure that it was safe, and then they found out it did indeed have rabies. So poor guy just got attacked by that. Tracy Claus says, my friend just saw one in a lake in Lake Mary last week. I think they have one in Dallas. Our friends in Rochester got some of these damn things. Now I'm on edge. Well, when I walk around, they are adorable. I love to watch them. I love to go to the zoo and see them. But I don't know if I want to encounter one of these things in the wild out there. Okay, when we return, we got much to get into. The next episode's on the way. Somebody at the White House got totally hammered on White Claw.
All right.
For the most bizarre reason, and we're going to dive front first into that when we come back. That's coming up next on the News Junkie.
You know you can always text us, unless you're driving, at 77031. Standard data and message rates apply. Real Mobile is powered by Orange Buick GMC and OrangeBuickGMC.com. We are professional grade.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
What's happening? I hope your Tuesday is going great so far. Right now, on the major highways and roads of Orlando, a couple of things going on. Of course, your usual delay east and westbound on I-4 approaching State Road 535, but eastbound lanes of Sand Lake Road are completely closed right now due to an incident that's at Weingard Road. Seek an alternate route. Right now, we are still seeing reports of an incident at John Young Parkway in the intersection of Holden Avenue. Our Safe Touch Security traffic tip line number is 866-676-8477. I'm Brian Black with your report.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. Since 2010, Blindster has sold millions of custom blinds, shades, and shutters to satisfied customers across the country with 20,000 five-star reviews and an A-plus rating from the Better Business Bureau. Custom blinds at low prices and free shipping. Blindster.com.
Mortgage brokers are better. Why, you ask? Well, they do all of their loans through national wholesale lenders. It's still going to be your standard FHA, VA, or conventional loan, but mortgage brokers have access to dozens of wholesale banks that are competing for your business. And wholesale banks only loan through mortgage brokers like that mortgage guy, Don. And that mortgage guy, Don, is the best because he made the process of getting a quote or comparing the quote you already have super easy. You get a better deal on any home loan when you work with a broker, but you also get the satisfaction of simplicity and honesty when you work with that mortgage guy, Don. If you want to see a difference, go to the website right now, thatmortgageguyDon.com. Chock full of information for you, guides on how to get pre-approved, reliable mortgage information, very easy to navigate through, and any question you have direct access to the man himself. Plain and simple, no spam, no hassle, just peace of mind. Check it out now, thatmortgageguyDon.com.
Don't miss the boat, compare your quote with thatmortgageguyDon.com.
Hello, I'm Greg Figueroa.
And I'm David Figueroa. Over 30 years ago, my brother Greg and I set out on a mission to offer the world a better hot sauce.
That's right, David. We made Melinda's thicker, hotter, and better than ordinary hot sauces.
And now we have 32 exciting and delicious sauces that hot sauce fans are obsessed with, like our ghost pepper sauce, our Thai sweet chili, and our best-selling black truffle hot sauce.
Melinda's also has 5 spicy ketchups made with real sugar and no added junk like high fructose corn syrup. People ask David and I, what makes Melinda so good? That's easy. We think like chefs do. Instead of burning someone with hot peppers and vinegar, we use fresh plant-based ingredients and the finest chili peppers perfectly blended to set your mouth on flavor.
Go to melindas.com to find our line of craft condiments at Walmart and other fine retailers. And right now, get a 10-pack of our best-selling sauces with free shipping at melindas.com. That's melindas.com. melindas.com.
If you're the victim of a car crash, never rush to settle with the insurance companies and never settle for just any attorney. Demand Anna Jar Levine. Call 1-800-747-FREE for a free consultation and take back control of your life.
In Office Orlando. In life, some days are good and some could be better. The same is true for recovery. Both take work, both take adjustments. Finding your path is a key part of your journey, and then it's all about walking it every day. Embrace the good days, the not-so-good days, and the challenges, and acknowledge how you overcame them. Be open to every part of the journey and welcome it. It's unique, and it's all part of you. Find the path to recovery that works for you. Learn more at cdc.gov/stop-overdose.
Call Extreme Air and Electric when you're in need. Call the Extreme Team.
Visit Extreme Air online today at extremeairandelectrical.com for special financing available on new home comfort systems. That's your hometown Train experts online at extremeairandelectric.com today. License EAC 1817433.
Call Extreme for your air and electric when you're in need. Call the Extreme Team.
If there's anything better than getting a few of your favorite things from McDonald's, it's getting a few of your favorite things from McDonald's for less in the McDonald's app. Delicious. Order in the McDonald's app today. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Use mobile order and pay on the McD app and get 25% off any purchase of $5 or more, like a steak, egg, and cheese bagel meal. At participating McDonald's, valid once a day through 12/31/23, excludes tax, must opt into rewards.
I've perfected my buy one, get one game putting in reps at the outlet mall. Now I'm ready for McDonald's buy one, get one for $2 deal. I can pick up Big Mac with 2 all-beef patties and Big Mac sauce, or 100% fresh beef quarter pounder with cheese, or a juicy 10-piece chicken McNuggets made with all white meat chicken, or a filet of fish with crispy fish and melty American cheese. When I buy one, I get one for just $2. I'm finally ready to go BOGO Pro. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal. Valid for item of equal or lesser value.
Your dentist recommends flossing your teeth once a day, but 70% of us ignore this advice because traditional flossing can be, well, a hassle. But Quip's rechargeable water flosser turns you into a flossing fanatic. With gentle and deep clean pressure modes, the Quip water flosser delivers feel-good flossing, and its clutter-free design includes a long-lasting charge and a 360-degree floss tip for hard-to-reach spots. Right now, get your first floss tip refill free at getquip.com/radio. That's getquip.com/radio.
A lot of schools talk about training the cybersecurity workforce of the future, but do they really deliver? My Computer Career has been supplying the IT workforce with thousands of skilled, certified pros for 15 years. Train with the experts in support, networking, or cybersecurity and start your career in months, not years. Upskill even faster. On campus or live online. Qualified students may get financial aid, including the GI Bill. My Computer Career. Accredited, acclaimed, effective. Take the free career evaluation at mycomputercareer.edu.
No payments until 2024 with approved credit. Visit nationstrucks.com right now.
I love this story. So imagine you're in this situation. There's a new book where they talk about some political stuff, and we don't care about that so much, but we do care about this because it's funny. Mark Meadows, who was the chief of staff, the last one, because he had a bunch during former President Donald Trump's reign in the White House. Mark Meadows is one of these guys who has never had a drink in his life. Teetotaler. Dude has never had a drink in his entire life and didn't plan on it moving forward. And they said one morning he's at the White House and there was a bunch of meetings and stuff. And for whatever reason, there was a big thing with ice in it with White Claws in it. Much like C-Lane just had at his baby shower.
Damn right.
Which I took full advantage of.
Also damn right.
Started pounding those things. But I knew what I was getting into. So this Mark Meadows guy, total teetotaler, goes over to the thing. And he's like, oh, these look good. I like a seltzer here. And he cracks one of the White Claws open. And he starts drinking. And he's like, these are good. I enjoy this. And he goes through like 4 of them. And he had no idea that they were alcoholic. And
I mean, I don't drink White Claws ever. So you can taste the alcohol, I thought.
You would be fooled by it.
Okay.
I think people could be fooled by it because it's not very strong and it mixes in kind of perfectly with the flavor that they have. So it is absolutely not one of those things that you drink and go, whoa, there's a bunch of alcohol in this. They are 5% alcohol though. So it's like the equivalent of an average beer. And he pounded a bunch of these, and he said all of a sudden he's totally hammered at the White House. And he's never been drunk before.
Man?
And he says that. He goes, what's happening to me? And somebody else goes, dude, you've had 4 White Claws. And he's like, yeah, so what? And they go, those are alcoholic. 4? He's just drinking. He's never had a drink in his life, and he's absolutely
poor guy.
twisted in the White House. And afterwards, he went back to not drinking. You would have thought maybe he was like, yeah.
This ain't half bad.
Yeah, this is what I'm missing out on right now. I'm having a good time at the White House. But he went back to the not drinking side of things afterwards. Before we go to you, because there's a lot of dispatches, we want to hear from you and see what's going on in your world. There's a bit of a mystery underway and a very concerning one where they said nearly 50 school children have gone missing in the month of September alone in Cleveland.
What?
And they don't know why this is happening or why the numbers seem to be up so much.
Why do we have to get to 50 until this was national news?
That is that's a great question because I was curious. I think after maybe 5, mysteriously, within 30 days, that the red alert would be up. But
5 to 10, like statewide news.
Let's wait until 50.
They're calling it unusually high, so they're admitting that this is kind of out of control.
What's the usual amount of missing school children that we just, that's par for the course, standard operating procedure?
In the entire state of Ohio, last year, 1,600 kids were reported missing. Just take a second here and take this in, because when you hear that a child goes missing, almost, I don't know, I think it's 90-something% of them, they find them within the day or the next day, and they had just run away, or they go to a friend's house, or they do these kind of things. It's only these very, very few cases where it becomes, the actual missing persons case where things can go very horribly wrong. In Georgia and North Carolina, the number of missing children in those states for the whole year was less than 700. But they had 50 in Cleveland, the single city of Cleveland, in September alone. And that obviously is of concern. and they're not sure what the hell is going on. They said most are likely runaways. They're struggling to keep up with the demand of anxious parents wanting to find their kids because there's too many kids that are missing now. They said some of them are regular runaways. So cops will identify somebody. And it's a bad thing, man. When cops identify a child as a habitual runaway, you have to be very careful about this because those kids are generally high risk. They're living high risk lives. They're putting themselves in danger. And then if something does happen to them or they get canceled, you have full on boy who cried wolf because over and over and over, this person who was supposed to be missing was a runaway to the point of being a habitual runaway. So I don't know what's happening there in Cleveland, but hopefully they can resolve this situation and see why all these kids have gone missing. Over to you now and your dispatches. Do join us. If today is a good day for you, make it the first day that you join us with your dispatch. You're listening every day, but I'd love you to interact with everybody else who does so. Here is Flying Brian. He's found another Carol because we're stacking up men named Carol. Here we go.
Hey everybody, happy today. I'm a little behind on the shows as I listen off and on throughout my day while I'm working.
That's fine.
At the shop, but I just wanted to add in a Carol, a man named Carol that you guys forgot yesterday. Pretty famous one at that. Carol Shelby.
Oh yeah, Carol Shelby.
Almost has two female names there, but was enough of a badass, I think, that he made it work.
Anybody know who Carol Shelby is? No Googling. No Googling. I see you, C-Lane.
I already did it.
Oh, I have no idea. I did no Googling, and I couldn't even begin to tell you.
The creator of the Shelby Corvette, which is a beautiful car. And if you have one, very, very, very expensive. You can buy, like, the frame. Let's say there was a Shelby Corvette from the 60s. Mustang? No. I mean, Shelby's also in the world of Mustangs, too, yes. Okay. But the Shelby Corvette is the one that, like, put it on the map. Are you not seeing that? I'm almost positive.
I'm seeing Shelby Cobra, Shelby GR1.
I went to college with a girl named Shelby.
I think they licensed out the Shelby name to the. I'm not crazy here, right? It's the Shelby Corvette. There's one that's really old, and if you have like just the frame of one that caught on fire and exploded and did all of this stuff, unless I'm confusing this with something else, you're now tripping me off here. I know there's a Shelby Mustang, but isn't there a Shelby Corvette? Isn't that the same thing?
This says Scagliati Corvette.
I've never heard of that in my life.
I drive Mazdas.
Yeah,
so back and forth.
I'll find out what I was thinking of if I got something else mixed up. I'll correct the record. Okay, calm down, chat. Calm down. I'll correct the record if I got that wrong. Here's John the Exterminator with the dispatch.
So, fun fact about rabies, or maybe not so fun because it's quite terrifying. They say get the rabies vaccine as soon as possible if you get attacked by a wild animal, especially if it's rabbit, because if you get rabies and you start showing symptoms, that's it. It's 100% mortality rate. It is a terrible death, and there's nothing they can do for you. Once you start showing symptoms, you're just going to die.
You get like really bad hydrophobia.
Yeah, isn't that weird? Because I don't know if anything else does that to you.
Well, I mean, I don't know that it happens in animals because you would think it would be kind of a bad situation for an otter to be in, being as it spends a portion of its life in the water. But when humans contract rabies, they get like a really bad, like they're scared to death of water.
Oh, yeah, that's terrible. If it accelerates past the very first couple of hours, I think. Maybe it's not a Shelby Corvette. Maybe it's like a
Shelby Cobra?
Yeah, Shelby Cobra is what I was thinking of. That's what it is. That's the one that's incredibly collectible. And if you have like just the frame of it, it could be worth six figures.
But he was involved somehow because there's a whole paragraph on Carol Shelby's Wikipedia page of the Scaglietti Corvette.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that one I wasn't familiar with. Somebody says Shelby Honda Civic, Shelby Hyundai, the Shelby VW. A lot of different options for us over there. Meanwhile,
the Shelby Dodge Stratus.
We check in with Maine, talking about the sea otters. Maine 420.
Junkies, Maine 420 here. You guys are talking about sea otters. I had one attack my foot one night when I was sitting down at Casco Bay Ferry Lines in Portland, Maine. It jumped the crap out of me. I got up. Me and him had a staring contest, and he ran off the other way after I stomped my foot. Anyways, have a nice day, guys.
You got the better of him.
Wiggle. pop up.
Thank you. Appreciate your otter story.
I got Maine 420 can just take any of our topics and main it up.
Yeah, he can just localize it to him, and then all the other folks in Maine that are listening will appreciate it.
It's like I was flying to Portland, Maine, and watching a movie with boobies in it on the plane, and a lot of people were complaining.
I like him. I think he's great. Let's go over to the brown pony.
So a long time on the internet, I saw a video, and I'm pretty sure it was an otter, where it's on the road, and there's some woods, and this guy's following it with his phone, just recording it, and it finally just turns around and just attacks him. And I guess somehow he ended up dying. I don't know if that's true or not. But Ross Pageant also told a story last week of an otter taking a baby duckling and just killing it is an understatement. It exterminated this damn thing. So, yeah, they're vicious.
I guess they're pretty powerful.
A lot of people chiming in. Yeah, I don't think you're punting any otters anytime soon.
I could try.
A lot of people chiming in are saying that rabies or not, otters are just nasty assholes.
I didn't know they were so aggressive
They're territorial, and they can be mean.
Yeah. All right. Well, now we're learning something here today.
But they look cute. The other person on the texting service said that they like sit on my dock and hold hands.
Oh, see, that I like. That makes me like them. And the other thing's terrible. Apologies, the greatest of apologies about my Shelby Corvette mishap. I thought that was something else. You got it correct. The Shelby Mustang is what it was. They had all sorts of stuff they did with that name, and they branded it out and everything for years and years and years. I remember those cars. Okay, quick break. When we come back, the next episode with Sabrina. What's coming up on the next episode?
What's coming up on the next episode? Move over, Italian boat mop. Kanye is now being accused of breaking anti-terror laws. Boppity-boopity. Crazy Bone of Bone Thugs and Harmony is in the hospital and apparently very close to the crossroads. Plus, can Taylor Swift end the tomahawk chop? Ooh, let's see what she can do. All that and so much more coming up on the next episode.
And that is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Coming up tonight on Real Radio, at 7, it's a corporate time with Tom and Dan. Brought to you by Gringos Locos and Modern Plumbing Industries. At 9 p.m., it's Real Laughs with comedians James, Miguel, Ken, and Mike. And Real Music starts tonight at 10 on Real Radio 104.1.
From the Rude Air Conditioning Weather Center, powered locally by Ferguson HVAC.
I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Allison Gargaro with a look at your Central Florida forecast. Afternoon highs today reaching the upper 80s. It's going to be warm and humid. Shower and thunderstorm chances on the rise, mainly after 3 o'clock. We're looking at 70% coverage, the chance for heavy rain, frequent lightning, as well as gusty winds. We always say when thunder roars, head indoors. Want to make sure everybody is staying safe on this Tuesday evening. I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Allison Gargaro.
This report is sponsored by Our American Stories.
This is Lee Habib, the host of Our American Stories. This week, we'll have the story of a man who found his purpose by joining the Army later in life, in his 40s to be precise. You won't want to miss the next episode of Our American Stories.
Family owned and operated since 1969, Nations Trucks has earned their reputation as Central Florida's most trusted used truck dealer, and with good reason. So you can take your pick from the largest selection of the highest quality, lowest price pre-owned trucks in all of Florida. I'm talking about Fords, Chevy, Ram, GMC. Nations Trucks has got them all. Work trucks, lifted trucks, diesels and 4x4s. Pretty much the only thing they don't have are Shelby Corvettes. So no payments until 2024 with approved credit. Visit nationstrucks.com or head down and see them in person in Sanford, 1792, just 1 mile south of Lake Murray Boulevard, and let them know C-Lane from the News Junkie sent you.
Your industry is unique. It faces its own challenges and risks that set it apart. That means choosing just any insurance company just won't cut it. At The Hartford, we take pride in knowing the ins and outs of your industry and help provide solutions that suit how you do business, from liability and property insurance to workers' comp and more. At The Hartford, we don't just talk about specialization, we live it. Learn how The Hartford can help your business at thehartford.com.
Attention, our friends from Guarantee Media are giving away 4 days in Puerto Rico, Jamaica, or Mexico with hotel and airfare included for only $99 to the first 50 listeners to text MUSIC to 96551. It's only for the first 50 listeners to text MUSIC to 96551. They give you up to a year and a half to travel, but you must be one of the first 50 to text MUSIC to 96551. Grab your phone and text the word MUSIC to 96551 for your chance to get 4 days in Puerto Rico, Jamaica, or Mexico with hotel and airfare included for only $99. That's MUSIC to 96551. You heard right. Be one of the first 50 listeners to text MUSIC to 96551 and get 4 days in Puerto Rico, Jamaica, or Mexico with hotel and airfare included for only $99. But you must be one of the first 50 listeners to text MUSIC to 96551. Text the word MUSIC to 96551 for your chance to go on vacation to Puerto Rico, Jamaica, or Mexico.
Major phone carriers make you sign contracts with rigid data plans to trap you into a kind of forced phonogamy. Sounds pretty insecure if you ask me. At Consumer Cellular, we believe in a more consensual and healthy form of phonogamy, free of contracts and more flexible to your data needs. This way, you stick around not because we force you to with contracts and fees, but because you love our phone plans. Like ardently love our phone plans. Phonogamously. Consumer Cellular. When Freedom calls, we're here to answer. Call us at 1-888-FREEDOM.
Do you struggle with occasional nerve aches in your hands or feet? Try Nervive Nerve Relief from the world's #1 nerve care company. Nervive tablets contain alpha-lipoic acid to relieve nerve aches, weakness, and discomfort, plus B-complex vitamins to support healthy nerve function as you age. Live life with less nerve discomfort with Nervive Nerve Relief. Learn more at nervivehealth.com. And try Nervive Pain Relieving Cream to block nerve pain signals at the source. Use as directed.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com, and I sell custom blinds designed for do-it-yourselfers. Unlike stock blinds offered at big box retailers, Blindster blinds are custom made for your windows and shipping is free. Don't hire an expensive pro, do it yourself and save big at Blindster.com.
What key is tonight going to be played in? Well, that's entirely up to you and your spirit. Over here at Wild Turkey, we're opting for something that rings true and can reverberate for ages. A little 101. Wild Turkey 101 has been pleasing crowds for decades with its iconic rich flavor. Crafted with generations of know-how and the finest ingredients. Wild Turkey. Trust your spirit. Wild Turkey Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. Copyright 2023 Campari America, New York, New York. Never compromise, drink responsibly.
When I'm on the move, there's only one move that works for me. So I'm going to Checkers. Slide me that $2.49 chicken bites and fries box. No matter where I go, I'm going to enjoy the crispy, juicy, perfectly seasoned all-white meat chicken bites. Plus a load of Checkers' famous seasoned fries, all for just $2.49. That's right, this box is always coming in clutch. Checkers is boxing up deals like you've never seen before. Whether I'm running on empty or stepping on the gas, I'm taking one for the road with Checkers. Get it delivered now.
Hear the latest news from the headlines on your phone. Download the free iHeartRadio app for exclusive live coverage of breaking news. From what's happening where you live to what's happening across the country. Live from the center of the story. Listen for free anywhere, anytime. Download the free iHeartRadio app today.
Attorney Joe Cordell.
Divorce forces a father to focus on what's most important, his children. In the divorce process, this comes down to 3 key concerns: physical custody, decision-making, as well as financial support. Each of these is important, and it's important that you choose a lawyer that cares as much about these issues as you do.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Orlando area attorneys. Office in Orlando. Lisa Cargis, Florida resident partner. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois only. CordellCordell.com.
Hey, Threads is still a thing, right?
Yes, and we're on there.
At Real Radio 104.1, powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
The next
just a moment. All things happening in the world of entertainment and beyond. And don't forget, you can go over to the website to get the podcast if you missed any of the show today. We love all the folks who listen to the show on podcast each day, and we appreciate you. And don't forget, podcasters, you can also chime in with dispatches if they're a little bit late, especially if it's a more general topic and not focused on some sort of breaking news type situation. We want everybody to be involved, and not just when you hear me make a mistake, for God's sake. Of all the takes I have on this show, of all the political stuff I say, of all the crazy nonsense I spew out there, all it takes is like one little mistake.
You said elevator weird.
Bam! Everything just lights up. It all is set ablaze as quickly as you could imagine. Okay, let's get into it. Let's do the next episode.
Because there's a lot on TV, and you can't possibly keep up with all of it, even though you should, because what else are you going to talk about?
I lost me mojo. Got mojo, baby.
Nothing. Weather's nice. It's time for the next episode with Sabrina.
Hey, smoke weed every day.
Hold up. The next episode brought to you by That Mortgage Guy Don, thatmortgageguyDon.com, and of course the Home Loans Radio Show. Refinancing, buying your first dream home, debt consolidation. Get the process started today with an expert, but also someone who's part of the Real Radio family, someone who has your best interest in mind, and it's That Mortgage Guy Don and thatmortgageguyDon.com.
Don't miss the boat, compare your quote with That Mortgage Guy Don.
53 years ago, 1970, there was a song from a certain show by a certain character that peaked at number 16 on the pop singles charts. 1970, I won all three things.
1970. All right.
Oh, Rubber Ducky, you're the one.
Rubber Ducky.
That's right.
By Donald Duck?
No.
Donald Duck, man.
Donald Duck? It's not.
This was Sesame Street, correct?
Yes.
Oh,
it was,
it's Ernie then. It sounds like Ernie.
The gay one.
I didn't know they had a whole song.
Yeah, this is the disco remake, but I imagine that was the one that hit the charts, number 16, pop singles. So congratulations. They just don't make it like they used to, do they? And someone might not make it like they used to. That was a weird segue, but some sad news in the Bone Thugs and Harmony world. Crazy Bone's not doing too well.
Is he the one who helped the person that got in the car accident?
I believe that was Busy Bone.
Yeah.
Hey, it's Busy Bone. Are you okay, man? Take a bite of this apple.
Do you need an apple? This is Crazy Bone. He's in the hospital right now, I guess, fighting for his life. He suffers from inflammatory disease. Sarcoidosis? What is that, since you're familiar with the word?
It's, just something you hear on shows like Scrubs.
Oh, okay. Perfect.
All right.
They cover that at Grace.
So you get your medical information on Scrubs. Sabrina gets hers from Grey's Anatomy.
That's
all right,
right.
I see. All right.
Over the weekend, he sought medical attention because he was coughing up large amounts of blood. Now, doctors found a bleeding artery in his lungs and did emergency surgery, but he's going to need another procedure. In the meantime, he is currently on a respirator. Busy Bone, the one who saved the guy from the car accident and had an apple, asked fans to, quote, pray for Cray.
Damn.
So let's have a quick little prayer.
Dear God.
Okay.
It's been a while.
It's me, Sean.
I'm not sorry for anything I did.
But pray for Cray, and I guess since we're on the almost dead topic, this guy dead.
Jimmy Buffett?
Jimmy Buffett is right. And
again?
What happens after a musician dies?
Oh, their music usually gets popular.
And this shot up. The week that Jimmy Buffett died, sales of his songs rose not one, not two, but 7,000%.
Man.
Yeah, he died of skin cancer. Sales of all the tracks collectively rose over $7,000, according to data from Luminate. Luminate was just the, didn't they just buy someone's catalog? Was it Katy Perry's?
Oh, did they? Yeah, I mean, Jimmy Buffett's catalog. Did he ever sell his?
I don't know if he did.
Okay. Yeah, because
that's a big catalog. Because once you get past all the major popular Jimmy Buffett songs, There's a lot of randos.
But then you realize they all sound the same, right?
I feel like they wouldn't ever sell it because Jimmy Buffett's world, and we talked about this before, he's not like a regular musician. He's a brand. The whole thing is a brand. So there's a huge company with hotels and resorts and
the weed.
Whole entire neighborhoods where people all want to live the lifestyle of the Parrot Head. So I think they might keep it.
For the tracking week dated September 1st through the 7th, which began on the day Buffett passed away at age 76, paid downloads hit almost over 100,000 in the U.S. alone. And they said that the biggest one was, of course,
Margaritaville.
Yep. Record sales put Buffett on the digital song sales chart like he had never been before. In 6 decades that he has been in his career, this is the first time he's been on the charts for that.
You don't like any Jimmy Buffett? There's not like one song that's that?
I love Jimmy Buffett.
Oh, okay.
I went to, I think, 2 of his shows. I grew up with Jimmy Buffett because my best friend and my college roommate, her parents are major Parrot Heads. They've been having a really hard time accepting this.
Yeah, it's tough. There's a lot of big fans of that guy, but I never could see myself, like if I'm driving down the road and Courtney and I are going somewhere, I'm not the type to put on Jimmy Buffett and listen to it.
Get yourself on a boat, man, and that changes big time.
If I'm on a boat or if I'm at like a party or at a pool I can get behind that. I'm fine with it.
Or if you're on a boat and you're this guy, you could just get in trouble with Italian authorities.
Kanye.
Kanye is right. Now, 2 weeks ago, earlier this month, we had his, and they keep using wife in quotes. Are they not officially married?
I don't think they are.
Oh, okay. Well, his fake wife, pseudo-wife, Bianca Censori and Kanye, they got all the headlines and in big trouble with Italian authorities for his not safe for work taxi boat mop act that was caught by the paparazzi. And now he's being accused of breaking Italian anti-terror laws because he's constantly using that black mask, like the ski mask.
Yeah.
Did we talk about that right
No.
now? Oh, okay.
No, I know what you're talking about. It's the one that he's always wearing, or he's wearing the stupid thing with the fake muscles in it.
And you're not allowed to wear masks in Italy?
Yeah,
Is
maybe
that
it might be something for safety reasons attached to some incident. Who the hell knows where they came up with it?
But now they were launching
I bet
another.
They want him out of Italy.
I'm sure. Why is he still there?
The Italians are probably like, you know what? We've had enough of this naked lady walking around, Kanye over here. I bet they're not thrilled.
No. So now they have launched another investigation, and they told, I believe, maybe the Daily Mail, what this latest one is about. And damn it, I was hoping for my Italian bed here, but it seems to be a done. Keep going.
Bippity boppity boopity. That's my Italian song.
There are standards of public decorum that have to be followed by tourists and locals alike, and any breaches are severely punished. The images of West with his trousers down while in a taxi as he and his partner crossed the lagoon were all seen around the globe. You could clearly see his trousers were halfway down, and we have received complaints from people who witnessed it. Now we have identified the driver of the boat and will be asking him what he saw as well. The offense being investigated is acts contrary to public decency, which is punishable by an administrative sanction.
Ooh, they're going to sanction his ass.
That sounds like the adult version of an office referral.
You're going to have to, this is going to be on your permanent record, buddy.
Strike 3 and you're out of here, buddy. Friday evening, he was spotted in Milan attending a fashion show to be exact. He was doing an interview, and during the interview, he was wearing that all-black outfit with the full face covering, similar to his look when he was in Florence, and now Italian police want him out. This guy right here, this is pretty crazy, but he's dating somebody again, and you'll never guess what their age is.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yes.
25.
25 is right.
Yeah.
Yes. He is, what was it, last year, 2 years ago, that they actually did, like, the charts of it? And
yeah, but how old is he?
He is, I believe, in his 50s. Oh, no, he's turning 49 in November.
Okay, so he's almost 50.
And we have a full circle moment here, reportedly dating Vittoria Serrati, an Italian model who is 25 years old, which Uproxx is calling old for DiCaprio. I thought it was always 25. or perhaps under?
I think it starts earlier, and then by 25, it's like...
and then he dumps them.
Yeah, and then
Pretty much
back to 23, 22.
The scariest point in your relationship with Leonardo DiCaprio is your 26th birthday.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they're saying they've been spotted on numerous dates, and she is 25, so maybe he's changing his ways. Now, of course, that did not go unnoticed by all the people on the internets. We have Breezy, who wrote, "Bro saw all the tweets about him breaking up with women after they turned 25. Now he's trying to prove us wrong. Inflation has him increasing his age range by 1. Another person wrote, "Dating an older woman for once. Finally, Leonardo DiCaprio dating a 25-year-old is a really good PR stunt."
And real quick, how is it that we know every time that Leonardo DiCaprio is dating somebody new and Pete Davidson is dating somebody new?
Because
Either one of them
avoid the paparazzi. They love it.
When they get involved with somebody new, it's like, bam, you just know it immediately. And I don't know if that's coming from them or they just spot them outside.
There's two reasons. It's because Leonardo DiCaprio, he gets older and they stay the same age.
All right.
And Pete Davidson just continues to outkick his coverage.
Now, Pete Davidson's new gal is also a model, I believe. I don't know what her name is. It's also worth mentioning DiCaprio has dated above 25 before. Last year, he dated Gigi Hadid, who at the time was 27.
Oh, my God. Disgusting.
Also, rumors spread earlier this year that he was dating a 19-year-old, but that turned out to be bunk.
Oh.
What? What's not bunk is these rumors going around that Taylor Swift's in the NFL world. They can't stop talking about it.
We're not talking about Taylor Swift on this show.
That's right. Whatever you guys want, I wouldn't see her naked in a box.
Get that elsewhere.
Mad dog out. Oh. Well, this cute little dog named Sabrina. Okay, let's dump that.
Dog named Sabrina?
I just try to segue. Like I'm not mad.
She's
I'm actually
not
pretty
mad.
happy. I'm a happy dog.
Yeah.
But happy cat. Anyways.
Oh, my God.
I am a human that's going to keep moving on. Taylor Swift is supposedly dating Travis Kelce. If you've been living under a rock, that guy is in the NFL, Super Bowl winner. He is what position, gentlemen, for sport points?
I think he's a tight end.
I'll go
believe
with
so.
that. Now, American activists, Native American activists to be exact, are hoping that despite not confirming the relationship whatsoever, that she will speak out against the tomahawk chop and some of the other Native imagery used by the Chiefs. So there you have it, Taylor. Be our hero again.
Or she'll double down and she'll be like, actually, I really love the tomahawk chop.
Ooh, look at this tomahawk chop. Could you imagine if she
How
said
does that go?
nothing?
Do you know how the tomahawk chop goes?
Yeah, I think you use your hand. And then it's kind of like a chopping motion, like as if you were to have a giant.
Doesn't
thing of
FSU
cheese.
do that? FSU does
do.
that too, right? Okay.
And then if you just turn your hand ever so slightly, it becomes the heil.
Ooh, you don't want to do that.
Not
I
at
don't
all.
see it as like an anti-Indian thing or a Native American thing.
Native American activist, though, Rhonda Levaldo, is hoping that Taylor might help her get the Chiefs to abandon some of their more troubling traditions, like the tomahawk chop, and maybe even the team name.
No.
How about you let her date first, and then we'll worry about the activism. But
Yeah. Do you even believe they're dating, or do you think this whole thing's just like a big publicity thing?
I don't know. I think he's so cute, and I think that she deserves happiness. So I hope that they are dating, but it's just so much publicity already that it very well could be a PR stunt.
Yeah, I've seen this on every angle. There was like some black news outlet that was like, he's a race traitor for dating a white girl. I've seen a race traitor because Taylor Swift is white, and which is weird because I think he's biracial.
Yeah,
But
he's not the blackest guy I've ever seen.
It's just like every take you could possibly see. All she did was show up for 5 seconds, or what? I'm exaggerating, but she showed up for one football game, and it exploded things that much.
I mean, I will take it though. I love that we are focusing so much on whether or not she's dating versus all the other crazy crap that's going on in the world. For example, she might not stop the tomahawk chop, but the guitarist for this band is helping save the entire planet.
Well, that's a lot of work.
Queen
is right, and Brian May assisted NASA in a mission to retrieve an asteroid sample.
What? He was involved in that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw this headline yesterday, and I went, I don't know how that's a thing, but...
I never knew he was such a smart guy. I mean, and good for him. He created stereoscopic images to ensure the spacecraft could have a safe landing. So when he's on
that's
tour...
pretty damn impressive if that's the case.
With Adam, whatever his face is, that replaced...
Levine? Not Levine.
No, it's
Lambert.
Lambert.
Yeah.
He is creating stuff that helps NASA bring asteroid research back to Earth. So good for him. What are you doing with your life?
Not enough.
Perhaps you're watching the Boob Tube, brought to you by that mortgage guy, Don. We had the 32nd season premiere of Dancing with the Stars on ABC. Name That Tune on Fox. The Voice on NBC. And also stand-up special, Chappelle's Home Team presents Lunel Town Business on Netflix. Follow your dreams and me on Instagram at Sabrina Ambra. And most importantly, stay with me, Murray.
Smoke weed every day.
Thank you, Sabrina. And over on, where was this? I saw it just a second ago over on the chat side of things. Big Doug Millionaire on Twitch says, what sites are you going on, Sean? That story was about Kelsey being a race trader for dating, not Katy Perry, but Taylor Swift, was on the front page of Yahoo today. That's why I saw that. It wasn't on some like weirdo place. And I was like, what the hell? There's just every single twist and turn that you could imagine of this in the last 24 hours. Because media outlets are like, ooh, sports and entertainment clashing together.
Our ratings are going to go crazy.
Think about it from this perspective. Remember when we talked about there was hiring a TV station sees a story like that, they're like, oh, this is like two things that are really going to get a bunch of clicks for us. And everybody tries to find their angle on it.
I saw a story that came through very recently that said they know why Taylor Swift 100% will not be able to stop the tomahawk chop.
Okay.
I lost you there for a second, so I did not hear what you were saying.
She can't stop the tomahawk chop.
Oh.
Why?
Because she's dead.
Oh, she had it ready, too.
Get him.
All right, quick break.
Yeah,
Get
that
back
felt good.
in just a moment.
Thank you, Lane. The alley-oop.
She had one hand up in the air with the number one finger point, and then the other hand, bam, hitting the button. Ooh. All right, back in just a moment. That's coming up next on the News Chunky.
3 general managers, 5 midday shows, and 1 corporate bankruptcy. Restructuring. Celebrating 30 years of Real Radio 104.1. Thanks for keeping the dream alive over 3 decades.
What's happening? I hope your Tuesday is going great so far behind the wheel in Orlando. A couple of things you should know about. A couple of closures, actually. Eastbound Sand Lake Road at Weingard Road. Also Reinhardt Road in Seminole. That's northbound after County Highway 46 at Town Center Boulevard. All lanes are closed. Seek an alternate route. Right now, of course, your usual delay east and westbound on I-4 approaching State Road 535. Our Safe Touch Security traffic tip line number is 866-676-8477. I'm Brian Black with your report.
This report is sponsored by ePass. With the time and money Pete saved with ePass, he's learning how to make bird calls. Which is good, because he needs practice. Getting ePass is time well saved. Visit getepass.com to get your free ePass toll sticker or 19-state uni. That's getepass.com.
This hour of Real Radio 104.1, sponsored by FloridaJobsNow.com, coming October 11th. Central Florida. Stop paying 2 water bills with a whole home of amazing water from Pure Water Changes. If you're paying your bill at home and then for bottled water, you're paying twice. Pure Water Changes can install a complete system for your entire home for the cost of your bottled water each month with 0 down plus easy financing. Right now, have a complimentary water inspection and a free no-obligation quote. Good for a year, and you'll receive a $100 gift card for participating, plus free cleaning supplies for 3 years with no chemicals. Call Pure Water Changes at 407 My Water.
This fall, explore out-of-this-world flavors. Join Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex for the 2023 Taste of Space Fall Bites, October 2nd through November 5th. Experience a galaxy of new fall dishes at our restaurants. And be sure to check out the 3rd annual Mars Teeny Shake-Off on October 6th. Visit KennedySpaceCenter.com for a full menu of these mouth-watering exclusive events. Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex. Look up.
It's hot. We all know that. Have you noticed your power bill is skyrocketing? The current cost of energy is the highest it's ever been, and it's probably going to just keep getting higher. Solar Source can change that for you. I recently took the plunge with Solar Source with my pool heater, and man, it's been a game changer. I love working with Solar Source. Solar Source has nearly 40 years in the business. They bring the power of the sun to over 6,000 Central Florida homes since 1984. Mine and my mom's and my sister's included. Solar Source makes it easy with a free estimate. Monster listeners, they have an online tool that lets you get your own solar estimate in just 30 seconds. No pressure, no salesman, just the facts. You can harness your own power and stop wasting thousands of dollars every year renting your electricity at higher and higher prices. Visit solarsource.com/monsters and see how easy it is to get your instant hassle-free quote. Solar Source, the most trusted name in solar. solarsource.com/monsters.
The Chase Ink Business Premier Card is made for people who make things happen, like me. I'm Sam, founder and CEO of Manifest, a product design company that makes everyday products designed smarter. I get 2.5% cash back on purchases of $5,000 or more, plus unlimited 2% cash back on all other purchases, which helps us make more smart ideas into a brilliant reality.
The Ink Business Premier Card. Learn more at chase.com/business premier. Chase for business. Make more of what's yours. Real business owner compensated for their participation. Account subject to credit approval. Restrictions and limitations apply. Cards are issued by JP Morgan Chase Bank. Any member FDIC.
The Home Depot and Behr are there for pros and now offer same-day or next-day delivery on top-rated Behr paints, stains, and primers. Get the most trusted paint brand in America delivered straight to your job site and spend less time stressing and more time painting. Contact a Behr Pro Paint Specialist to schedule your paint delivery today. The Home Depot. How doers get more done. Limitations may apply. Not available in all markets. See store for details. Ranked most trusted paint brand based on 2023 Life Story Research.
Sunset Walk presents the Best of Challenge Sandwich Edition, Saturday, September 30th at the Promenade. Join me and the cast of Real Radio 104.1's The Jim Colbert Show as we host the Best of Challenge. 10 venues competing to be crowned the best sandwich of Sunset Walk. Participants include Estefan Kitchen, Lizzie's Barbecue, Ford's Garage, and Cowboy Chicken. VIP tasting tickets on sale now at sunsetwalk.com. Spectators and parking always free. Plus, the band Switch, street performers, street market, and car show. It's the Best of Challenge Sandwich Edition, Saturday, September 30th at Sunset Walk.
I had a radio listener call me after an accident. The insurance company offered him $700. He hired me that day and we recovered $100,000. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Potential clients may not obtain same or similar results. Mo DeWitt, Orlando's injury attorney.
Recovery from addiction can take many forms, and quite often, it's a team effort. For those in recovery, having support often leads to a better outcome. And for those supporting people in recovery, they celebrate every milestone. Here's to family, friends, loved ones, healthcare providers, and community groups who are essential to helping people find their path to recovery. If you or someone you know is experiencing addiction, visit cdc.gov/stop overdose to learn more about the various treatment options available.
The annoying runny nose, the constant sneezing, the itchiness, and battle just to catch your breath. If you suffer from seasonal allergies, sinusitis, or nagging sinus congestion, there's a natural, easy-to-use solution that can help provide fast, drug-free relief. It's called Navage, and it uses powered suction to rinse your nasal passages in seconds. Millions of people use Navage daily to help provide relief from seasonal allergies and sinus congestion. Medications treat the symptoms, but Navage treats the problem at the source, flushing out the allergens and pollen trapped in your nose. Navage also helps wash out airborne bacteria, dust, dirt, and viruses quickly and painlessly so you can get back to breathing clearly again. Say goodbye to sinus suffering and hello to better breathing with Navage. Navage is available at Walmart, Walgreens, Target, CVS, Rite Aid, and online at Navage.com. Navage, Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Call Extreme Air and Electric. When you're in need, call the Extreme Team.
Visit
Visit Extreme Air online today at extremeairandelectrical.com for special financing available on new home comfort systems. That's your hometown Train experts online at extremeairandelectric.com today. License EAC 1817433.
Call Extreme for your air and electric. When you're in need, call the Extreme team.
Do you have AC needs? Turn to the experts at Carrier. Go to millsair.com.
Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind Studios. Why Kaufman and Lind? Because your case matters. Contact them at whenyouneedus.com or dial pound 546 on your cell phone. This is WTKS FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Listen on your free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts.
I don't believe this for a second, but they keep trying to make this a thing. There's yet another story about how the young men, this current generation of young men, they're so broken in so many ways, according to all the headlines. And the latest one that they keep trying to push down everybody's throat is that Gen Zers and younger people right now, there's a big problem with them falling in love with AI girlfriends, and this is distracting these young men, and they just can't help themselves. And I've got one of the stories about this here from The Hill that's getting a lot of attention today. It says, the rise of virtual artificial intelligence girlfriends is enabling the silent epidemic of loneliness in an entire generation of young men. It's also having severe consequences for America's future. How is something that seems so ridiculous, a virtual AI girlfriend, causing a future crisis among Americans? Well, with millions of users, apps have created virtual girlfriends that talk to you, love you, allow you to live out your erotic fantasies, and learn exactly what you like and what you don't like, creating the perfect relationship. I mean, how many people are using this stuff? I still don't believe there's all these young men doing this. The problem with young men in a loneliness epidemic, which is absolutely true, totally, absolutely true, that there's so many young guys right now who are wandering and lost, is basically, it boils down to the fact that nobody is speaking to them. Nobody is speaking directly to young men right now, except for people like Andrew Tate and other characters like that wander into the conversation because they see such a big vacuum there. Or Jordan Peterson, who is starting to do some stuff like that. Because all the stuff that they get is all negativity about how, just being a man in general, a young man, is bad, and, toxic masculinity and all of these things. And there's nobody talking to them in a positive way. That's why all of these things create a vacuum for the characters that might want to do bad things or might want to influence them in a bad way. I don't think it's about virtual girlfriends. I said these virtual girlfriends can be based on real people. One influencer created an AI bot of herself named Karen and gained over 1,000 users, i.e. real boyfriends, in less than a week with a wait list of more than 15,000 people. So I guess like big social media influencers are launching AI versions of themselves and then charging people to interact with that and date you virtually.
So weird, man. We are living in
weird.
Such times. Like, go back in a time machine and try to explain what you just said in this segment to somebody who was seeing color TV for the first time.
Right. Yeah, I don't think this is popular. I think this is fringe stuff. Like, is there one kid in the high school who has an AI girlfriend? Maybe.
It's fringe and it's cringe. Because my gosh, man, if you imagine being, having the insurmountable task of telling your friends, yeah, my girlfriend is not so much human.
You wouldn't, though. I mean,
she's AI.
Think about catfishing. Think about people who say that they're fallen in love with this inanimate object. Now you have
a doll. Remember the guy who was in love with the real doll thing?
Yeah, and then you have something that talks back to you. I can totally see how that could become popular amongst that group.
I just think it's very, very, very fringe right now. Leheva Rasta says, it's because they're lazy and don't want to put in the work to romance a woman. You're doing the thing. You're doing the thing right now that I just said everybody's doing, is talking negatively to an entire group of people. and not trying to help people who clearly are dealing with some issues, AI ain't going to cut it. It says, let's look at the hard numbers. More than 60% of young men are single, compared to only 30% of women the same age right now. Only 1 in 5 men report, 1 in 5 men report not having a single close friend, a number that has quadrupled in the last 30 years. That, I think you could boil down to, well, the last couple of years was a huge issue with people being way less social. But in general, there's just a lot more people who don't interact with kids their age outside of school. They just don't. The amount of social engagement with friends dropped by 20 hours per month over the pandemic and is still decreasing. It says these young men are lonely and it's having real consequences. They're choosing AI girlfriends over real women. Again, I think this is them pointing out an actual problem and then saying it's because of these AI girlfriends. Once again, this lonely generation of young men, the voices coming at them are like, it's because of you. You did it. It's because of you and your AI girlfriends. It's because of you and all these terrible things that are inherent in you as a young man in America. America desperately needs people to have more babies, but all the signs are pointing toward fewer new relationships, fewer marriages, and fewer babies. There have been 600,000 fewer births in 2023 in the U.S. relative to 15 years ago. Well, Sealane's trying to fight back. He's getting one more on the board.
Now, despite it being fewer babies, are we still not, like, overpopulated?
No. I mean, that depends on what you mean by overpopulated. But what they say when they talk about birth rates is, you know why that's important, or you know why people focus on that stuff?
Why?
No, I'm saying, do you know why? Oh, it's because, like, right now, imagine how many people are above the age of 65 in the United States. And then what happens when all those people retire and they go on, like, Medicare, Social Security? It costs money, right? We got to, like, pay for all those people. So the system works, or most systems work, where you need newer people to come in and start doing the hard work and paying the taxes. And then that funds the older people. If we get too many older people, I think Japan has this problem. Where, like, their average age, you want to see something crazy? Look, and you might not care about this in the slightest, but I do. Look at a world map with average age by country. And you'll see in some countries, like, Sealane, real quick, can you look up average age in Japan and see what the average person's age is? You look up in a country like that compared to, like, Africa or something, a lot of African countries, it'll be so much younger because the population is growing in totally different ways.
49 years old.
All right, 49 years old. Now look up average age in Zimbabwe.
Zimbabwe.
The difference. And because a lot of these countries, I don't think the U.S. has it that bad. I don't think
18.
See, 18 is the average age of a human being in Zimbabwe versus so much older in Japan.
That's strange.
All these older people that you have to support financially, and it really makes the system, like, kind of start to crumble a little bit. I do think people who focus on that are kind of doomers in another way, though. Real quick, I wanted to show you guys something. There's a beauty pageant for dogs at this Austin coffee shop, and ma.
Look at that little baby.
I don't know if I can get behind this thing.
No, kill it with fire.
Jesus Christ, man. I mean, I'm sure it's lovable if it's your dog. I know that everybody can find the dog that matches up with them. And if they say dogs look like their owners, I don't know.
That dog's owner is obviously possessed.
Doesn't this breed of dog win, like, all of the competitions like this?
I don't know what breed of dog that is besides ran over by a train.
There's this particular type of dog. Let me click the link and load the story. Because whatever this kind of dog is, seems to win ugliest dog contests every single damn year. It says, dog owners are invited to bring their pets in. This is an upcoming one, they said. This one's a mutt. That dog is actually a mutt. But it looks like the one that had his tongue hanging out of its mouth. Oh, my God. All right, I'm going to put this up on See It Now on the newsjunkie.com so you guys can see this.
You know why
absolutely hideous
Hope you're
dog.
not eating lunch.
You know why they often have their tongues hanging out of their mouths, right, Sean?
No, why?
It's I guess, like, for some dogs or some dog breeds, it's the teeth that keeps the tongue in, and when they have such poor hygiene that they get, like, really bad breath, or their teeth have to, like, start to fall out, the tongue slips out where the teeth should be.
Cute.
Oh, that makes sense. I didn't even think about that.
So that means that not only are they hideous dogs, but if you got up real close to one and it started huffing in your face, you'd probably be like,
yeah. Oh. Somebody loves that dog, to somebody that's dog number one, and that's fine. Okay, there, it's up on the newsjunkie.com at the See It Now
dog
section.
number 2. I would hate to see. Oof.
And when we come back in a little bit, when we do jury duty, I have an update on that insane story about the guy who was like beating his ex and holding her down so that he could get her in the mental ward, and they held her there for 4 or 5 days. I did a video about this yesterday, but I've got even more. There's like text messages between the two of them and all sorts of other information in the charging documents that were set to put this cop behind bars. That story gets crazier and crazier. So we'll get to that in a moment. Plus, home in Sydney, which is in the most interesting situation I've seen. You might want to see this visual. Go over to YouTube or twitch.tv so you can catch it when we come back. For everybody else, again, we'll put that up on See It Now. But this family is in a really interesting situation. I want to talk about it. It'll be coming up next on the News Junkie.
You text us at 77031 and we say it on the air. Sometimes. We might even give you credit. Standard data and message rates apply. Real Mobile is powered by Orange Buick GMC and OrangeBuickGMC.com. We are professional grade.
From the Goldsmith Jewelry Shop Traffic Center. Lowest prices on the highest quality jewelry. GoldsmithJewelry.com.
What's happening? I hope your Tuesday is going great so far behind the wheel in Orlando. Couple of things you should know about. A couple of closures, actually. Eastbound Sand Lake Road at Weingard Road. Also, Reinhardt Road in Seminole. That's northbound after County Highway 46 at Town Center Boulevard. All lanes are closed. Seek an alternate route. Right now, of course, your usual delay east and westbound on I-4 approaching State Road of 535. Our Safe Touch Security traffic tip line number is 866-676-8477. I'm Brian Black with your report.
This report is sponsored by Uni, a product of ePass.
With the time and money Pete saved with ePass, he's learning how to make bird calls. Which is good, because he needs practice. Getting ePass is time well saved. Visit GetEPass.com to get your free ePass toll sticker or 19-state uni. That's GetEPass.com.
Jeep Adventure Days is going on now. Hurry in for great deals on a great selection of Jeep brand vehicles. Well-qualified returning FCA lessees get a low-mileage lease on the 2023 Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo 4x2 for $409 a month for 39 months with $2,999 due at signing. Tax, title, license extra. No security deposit required. Call 1-888-8925-JEEP for details. Requires dealer contribution and lease through Chrysler Capital. Current lease must end by 9/30/24. Extra charge for miles over 32,500. Residency restrictions apply. Take delivery by 10/2. Jeep is a registered trademark.
Are you experiencing tooth pain? Advanced Endodontics can help. With state-of-the-art care, experienced and compassionate staff, and 6 convenient locations throughout Central Florida, we make it easy to find the relief you need. We partner with well-known companies who offer great financing options, so you can achieve the smile of your dreams. And the best part is, no referrals are needed. Schedule your appointment today at ineedarootcanal.com. That's ineedarootcanal.com.
90% of us don't brush long enough. Around half don't brush twice a day. And 75% brush with old, worn-out bristles. The Quip electric toothbrush fixes that. It has timed sonic vibrations that aren't like a jackhammer, a nifty cover for brushing on the go, and a wireless design that mounts to mirrors. We also deliver brush heads and supplies from $5. Choose an electric toothbrush accepted by the American Dental Association. Shop Quip from $25 and get your first refill free at getquip.com/star.
If you ride a motorcycle in Florida, someone can hit you and hurt you and legally not have insurance to pay you. Uninsured motorist coverage can help save you from financial ruin. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Mo DeWitt, Orlando's injury attorney.
We're on with CDC Director Grant Baldwin. Grant, tell us how we become a part of Recovery Month and where to find resources.
So we encourage everyone to take action and learn how to prevent and reduce harm associated with drug use during this recovery month. First, get informed. Educate yourself about the risk of drugs and stay up to date on the latest data and trends. Second, help stop overdoses by visiting our website at www.cdc.gov/stop overdose to learn more about fentanyl, stigma reduction, naloxone, and polysubstance use. Third, recognize and help raise awareness that substance use disorders is a medical condition that requires treatment and support. And finally, support people in their recovery. And remember that there is hope and that recovery is possible.
For those that need help, call the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration National Helpline at 1-800-662-4357 or the Suicide and Crisis Line by just dialing 988.
You know when you wake up and your mouth feels gross and you just can't wait to brush your teeth to get that clean, fresh feeling again? That's exactly how millions of Navage users feel when they use powered suction to rinse out their noses every day, just like brushing their teeth. Once you're able to breathe deeply without congestion, you never want to be without it. That's why so many people rave about Navage, with over 100,000 online reviews. Feel the Navage difference for yourself. In less than a minute a day, you'll feel immediate relief from seasonal allergies and congestion after the very first use. Navage will also help you sleep deeper, snore less, and feel healthier, naturally, without drugs. Start breathing clearly again with Navage. Navage is available at Walmart, Walgreens, Target, CVS, Rite Aid, and online at Navage.com. Navage. Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
When you shop here, you win here. Score the Win Drive at Sutherland Nissan Orlando. Buy now and make no payments for 6 months. Get 0% APR financing on the best team of Nissans anywhere. Sutherland Nissan Orlando. OrlandoNissan.com. Home of the lifetime warranty. See dealer for details.
iHeart Podcast Update. This week on your free iHeartRadio app. Unimaginable Season 2. Your host Mike sits down with the world's most important chief executives to answer your most pressing questions about leadership, career, and life. The Mark Moss Show, helping you navigate cryptocurrency, business, and financial markets, and more. Sharp Money. This show explores 2 unique approaches to betting, broadcasting, and life with VSIN fan favorites Patrick Meager and Amal Shaw. Hear these podcasts and more on your free iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Do you have AC needs? Turn to the experts at Carrier. Go to millsair.com.
Have you seen this video of the guy playing a Billy Joel song on his piano?
On the street, the busker?
Yeah. And then he gets attacked by that lady? I
just saw it like last break. It's so weird that you just bring that up now.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah.
I saw that yesterday. And you know what? I thought maybe this might sound weird to you for a second. But when I saw this video, this young guy, seems like a super nice guy, and he's playing his keyboard out on the street. He's playing Billy Joel, and some woman comes over and just like smashes his piano down. And then even worse, the woman then pretends like she's sorry and reaches in and steals all the tips out of his tip jar.
Well, she had seen him earlier. He was like on a street, probably where there were some destinations for young people to go hang out for a Friday or Saturday night. She'd seen him earlier, and she had reached over his keyboard and just like, hit a bunch of keys at once to make it sound like crap.
You paid me like $400 to do that once.
Yes, it's basically the same thing, but she like knocked his whole thing down. Here's the visuals. For those of you watching on YouTube and Twitch, and I'll put this up on See It Now. Let's roll the visuals while we're talking about this, Celan. I'm just going to keep it muted. But you can see the woman come up, and she smashes on his keyboard, and then she walks away because the other girls like pull her arm off of it. And then he's playing along, and he's doing his thing, and you could see the woman come back at some point, and she goes right up to him, and
she wants to do it again.
They're all filming themselves doing it.
And she smashes his keyboard down to the ground. And then look, she acts like she's sorry for what she's done as she smashed it on the ground. And she leans in as her friends are laughing at this. And she goes down and steals the money out of his tip jar.
Dude.
And walks away. And right there, you
gall.
have... That's a viral video, and that's something that would get a lot of people fired up and be like, God, the world's messed up out there. But to me, this is a great American story.
Oh,
it's a great American
right?
story. Yes, and I'll tell you why. Because this kid who was out here just trying to enjoy himself, these drunk idiots who mess his stuff up and steal his money, And they try to fight him. They're like, you gonna do something about it? And he's like, no. Now, as he's sitting here dejected with his stuff all on the ground, the most important part of this video.
Dude.
Yeah, I don't care about his whole thing, but let me see.
He's annoying.
Right here. The most important part of it is the end when this guy comes up and he's like, hey, are you okay? And he pulls into his wallet, grabs a whole fistful of cash and says, you can have all of this. And another guy comes up and he goes, you all right? You doing okay, man? And he got another fistful of money and he gives him money because the other people stole it from him.
What if that was the plan the whole time?
Well, that's a hell of a plan. But when I see stuff like that, I go, the real thing is about how despite the assholes, we persevere, and there are good people in the United States of America.
And the sad part is if you found the girl that smashed his piano, she would probably go, and see, look how much money you got from that.
True. Yeah.
Like she would see it as
she
like
also should be charged for stealing.
Yeah, it was definitely that. And I think even just like knocking his keyboard over would probably be some sort of crime. You can't just destroy people's. Yeah, you can't do that. You can't get up in somebody's face. But she's drunk, being stupid. Everybody does these stupid things every once in a while.
No, you don't.
Yeah,
I mean, we all get drunk all the time, and I don't ever remember us having to do that, like damaging somebody's property. Like, that's just like, it's so, I don't know, Gen Z to me.
It's
like
terrible, and she did a terrible thing, but do you think she should go to jail for it?
No, I think that she should do some community service, pay him
I think in these
back.
cases, she's out there. You could see her on this video. You know somebody has found out exactly who she is. No doubt about that.
If it's with that guy's account that just popped up in green screen, they absolutely will find who she is.
They find people fast, and they're like, this is where she works. There'll be enough of a punishment for doing this. Eric says, fake, stage. No, it is not stage. It was real. And I think that most people will probably just watch the first part and get angry because most of the internet is an engine generated to feed you things to make you angry. Right now, that's what's going on.
Say that to the dodo's face, dude.
Well, the dodo perseveres despite that, just like America.
Makes me cry all the time.
The dodo says, we are going to do this because we know there's an audience for it. And we have different evolutions of our internet and internet culture. You guys remember probably for a while, there was really clickbait culture online, but it was generally positive. It was like a man had no idea he had cancer until this amazing thing happened. And you click on it, it's like some story about how some guy survived cancer because somebody helped him out. Now it's all something that they want to send to you. The machine wants to feed to you to make you angry, to get you pissed off, because that's what they think is the most valuable asset right now for somebody online. That'll get you to click. That'll get you to be angry. That'll get you to tweet. That'll get you to do all these things. And they've lost sight of what they're supposed to be in so many ways. You don't want an audience of miserable Fs. That's such a bad idea. I've talked about this many times on the show. I've said, I know there's radio stations out there that they now, because they've tried to feed their radio station audience exactly what they want, more and more and more and more of what they want. And they get to what they call audience capture. You get captured by your audience. You keep feeding them all this stuff that they want. And then all of a sudden you look at your audience that you've amassed and you go, my audience is full of terrible human beings. They are all god-awful, and I don't want to be around any of them. Do not clip me saying that. I was saying that somebody else's perspective was what I was saying there.
Yeah, no, I think he already grabbed it. I'm sorry.
That's why when I know he was doing something earlier when I said something. I forgot what it was now, but I saw him clicking buttons, moving around.
I didn't get that one fast enough. This one, though, this one's good.
No, I hope you missed them all. I hope you missed every last one of them. But anyhow, what was I saying? I totally forgot. Dead. Made me lose my train of thought, for God's sake. Anyhow, you can get an audience that ends up being a bad audience. And it makes me so happy whenever we go do an event or we get out and meet people who listen to this show that we don't have that. That we haven't cultivated an audience of angry people who are just like foaming at the mouth every day to get mad at something.
But then they call the station and I don't pick up. I just see it blinking over and over again.
Yeah, but you know they're there. It lets you know.
Absolutely there. But it is not. It makes like everything worth it when you meet the cool people. And I think the majority of our listeners are cool people. I was for the Orlando City Miami game. I am like trying to get in through the staff entrance. And there's a group of guys that are doing like a video for their podcast. And then the guy's in the middle of juggling a soccer ball, and he goes, "You're Sabrina. I love listening to your show." His name is Sebastian, I believe, from Soccer is Football. And there they were giving me a shirt saying he loves to listen to it. And it was like, I looked at them, I'm like, you listen to the News Junkie? You're like, what
that.
we say and do? Yeah. All right. I'll take it.
I like it, especially if it's somebody young. You're like, oh, look at that. We're getting to the youth out there. I always like to see that. That's what I call them.
Thank you, youth.
Thank you, young man, fellow kid, and
appreciate
connect with
it.
him.
Super dab, no cap.
I find that to be so important, and I think that when I look at this, I see I'm going to choose to take away from this not the girl who was a jackass who treated him poorly and knocked his keyboard down and took his money, but on the guys who stepped up and said, "Hey, are you okay?" and said, "Hey, you know what? You're doing great. Here's some money. Maybe this will put you back where you were."
But also find the girl. Find the girl and dox her.
Right.
Dox her.
It's going to happen no matter what.
Dox her.
There's something that's happening right now, which I find very interesting. And I wonder what's going on behind the scenes here. But there's a story now about Bijou Phillips, her stepmother.
Danny Masterson's soon-to-be ex-wife?
Danny Masterson's soon-to-be ex-wife, after he was just found guilty in court.
Are they calling her estranged yet?
Oh, they were the moment it started.
Because she went from like protecting this guy at all costs, right? She was like, he didn't do this. I love him forever. I'm so broken up by this. To the filing for divorce, and now.
But the statement with the divorce was like, "I will always consider him our life support."
Well, they're going further though. No, they're going further than that now, because the news stories say like she always knew there was something bad about Danny Masterson,
right?
And like she saw some of this coming, and I don't know how much of this is related to what I mentioned before, where I said, I wonder if Danny Masterson was like, "Look, I'm screwed. Go live your own life, do your own thing."
Yeah, I'm sure he said that.
I don't know. It's a guess. I mean, maybe that is what led to these things that we're seeing. Or she just said, well, I have to deal with the reality that he's going to be behind bars for 30 years to life, and I'm going to move on with my life, so I'm going to start separating myself from him as much as possible. And so there's this rewriting of history that happens where you go, yep, I always knew he was a bad guy. And you go, wait a second, hold on. This seems to be a change of tact here. All right, let's hear from a couple of people. Here is Chaos chiming in with a dispatch.
Hey, yo, junkies.
Hey.
Junkaroos.
Junkarinos?
I'm not even going to attempt it.
Junkaridoo?
That'd be great if you did.
Sean, 100% you're right as far as when it comes to these young guys nowadays. The only people that talk to them are unsuccessful. I mean, okay, they're successful, but like it's successful as in creating a family, creating a life. You know, typically these guys are single guys with, you know, a massive body count, which is one of those things that they complain about women having.
Right.
When, you know,
He's talking about the red pill community being willing to talk to young men and connect with them, and there's just an absolute vacuum there.
You're not going to build a family listening to someone that doesn't have a family or a successful family. You're not. There's been guys that have tried it, but it comes out that those guys are cheating on their wives, or, you know, they have it's an open relationship or something like that. There isn't really a good person that's successful as far as like creating a family as a man that's out there for men.
What we need always is, in our culture, it's helpful when we have dad-like role models, and most generations have one. For my parents' generation, maybe, or maybe even my generation, actually, you would have people, as silly as this sounds, like Mr. Rogers, who you could look up to and had an important message and would talk to everybody, but, you know, like younger men included in that. And I don't know if you have anybody necessarily like that at the moment, or that's connecting with those crowds. So other people move in and they're like, Jesus, everybody else is telling me how terrible I am. What other messages are there out there for me? And I'm telling you, you could draw a straight line from that to how some of these polls say these young guys are lonely as hell. Fatty Matty's talking about falling in love with AI.
The kids falling in love with AI reminds me of the movie Her with Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah.
Maybe that movie wasn't too off from predicting the future.
You know, I didn't like Her with Joaquin Phoenix, But I am strangely excited about the new movie that he's in, where he plays Napoleon. And it's Joaquin Phoenix. I haven't seen him in anything in a little while.
No, he was in that one that people were walking out of. Remember? It was
and they were like, this is a career ender.
Yeah.
And
Listen,
I
he did
forgot what that one was.
Weird social experiment where he was a rapper and his career did not end.
He's always doing something. He did the Joker movie, which was very good and very well received. And I think they're filming a second one of that right now. But for me, the Napoleon movie, I thought, oh, this is the exact mix-up, like mashup of history and like current day that I really like. And I think, not that it's a modern day take on it, but just the way it's shot looks really, really cool. So I want to see that when it comes out. All right, we're going to we'll do one more. Here's Mommy Milk My Prostate with the Dispatch.
Gen Z or whatever you call these pieces of garbage can't be killed off soon enough. God, they disgust me.
The same guy that does this.
Jesus
Every
Christ.
take, it's like, kill everybody.
All right, I'm going to
run them over.
Frowdy face on you for a little while.
You all right,
Mommy Milk
man?
My Prostate. Let's go
I'm
to
surprised
somebody.
it took you that long because I know you hate saying his name.
I forget all the time who says what, so it's all new to me. Here's Musical Matt, probably the less miserable.
Happy today, news junkies.
Hey.
I was just going to chime in real quick about Sean. You mentioned a couple days ago that about teachers and tattoos.
Mm-hmm.
That is not a thing. You can have as many tattoos as you want. We're just so desperate for teachers right now. My last assistant principal had a full sleeve, and
Nice.
she was the admin. So, yeah, I got tattoos on my forearms, tattoos on my fingers, and I teach anywhere from kindergarten through 6th grade as my day goes on.
That's
so
hot.
it's all good, man. Get that ink.
You know what's
Later.
cool? It's crazy to me. Like the unemployment rate in the United States of America right now is what, 4 something? C-Line, can you look up unemployment rate in America right now? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I can't talk in Google as good, but I just want to be accurate on the number. The unemployment rate I think is around 4 something, low 4s maybe, 4.1, 4.3. It's very low right now, but it could be almost 0. Because I hear of all these places at schools, they can't hire fast enough. They've got a huge problem there. I talked to our friend Thomas the other day about the hospital that he works at, and he goes, they have at any given time thousands of job postings, thousands of job openings that they can't keep filled, and they have a problem getting really good candidates for this stuff. There's so many jobs out there, and already the unemployment rate is really, really low. That's a strange position to be in. Did you find it?
Yeah, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, very fun bureau, a lot of parties
Love
there. Total non-farm payroll employment increased in August 2023 by 187,000, and the unemployment rate rose to 3.8%.
Oh my God, it's even lower. 3.8% is a very low unemployment rate. And I swear it could probably be 0 if people just went out there and snagged some of these jobs. And hopefully they will. But we got to get to this story about the home in a weird situation in Sydney, Australia. But we're up against the clock here. So quick break. And then we're back with that. And then jury duty with this story that we've been covering for the last couple of days. Interesting new information coming up. And that's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Someday, Alexa will know everything. Alexa, how do I get rid of a deadbeat roommate?
Try poisoning them.
But until then, tell her to play Real Radio 104.1 on iHeartRadio.
Playing Real Radio 104.1 on iHeartRadio.
This is Clay Travis. Here's what's trending from the iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by Mercedes-Benz.
In their first game without star cornerback Trayvon Diggs, Dallas put up a dud in the desert. The Cowboys got down early and Dak couldn't rally him late. Dak is such a nice guy, charismatic, smart. We want to give him the benefit of a doubt. But the truth is he's an average to slightly above average quarterback with league average stats. The good news for Dallas, they're playing in the average NFC. I'm Colin Cowherd.
The brilliant EQE SUV from Mercedes-Benz, available with digital light technology. So smart, even the headlamps are thinking. The vehicle's all electric. The feeling is all Mercedes. Learn more. MBUSA.com/EQE-SUV.
I love Mondays. And yes, I'm being 100% serious. Why? It's because I'm a Dunkin' Rewards member. And Mondays are better with Dunkin' Rewards. Every Monday this month, Rewards members get a free medium hot or iced coffee with any purchase. Not a member? Join on the Dunkin' app and never miss a deal like this. Dunkin' Rewards. Save them, stack them, use them how you want. America runs on Dunkin'. Limit 1 per member per Monday. Additional charges and terms may apply. Participation may vary. Limited time offer.
It's one thing to suffer from allergies as an adult, but it's really tough on kids running around with sniffles or stuffy nose during recess or practice. Not to mention, it's hard to concentrate in school when you're not feeling well, and then you feel bad because you forgot to give them their allergy meds before they left. All of that can be a thing of the past thanks to Aspire Allergy and Sinus. They've helped thousands, including children, with their kid-friendly allergy testing and pain-free allergy drops. Schedule your appointment today while the kids are out of school. Go to aspireallergy.com. That's aspireallergy.com.
Major phone carriers make you sign contracts with rigid data plans to trap you into a kind of forced phonogamy. Sounds pretty insecure if you ask me. At Consumer Cellular, we believe in a more consensual and healthy form of phonogamy, free of contracts and more flexible to your data needs. This way, you stick around not because we force you to with contracts and fees, but because you love our phone plans. Like ardently love our phone plans. Phonogamously. Consumer Cellular. When freedom calls, we're here to answer. Call us at 1-888-FREEDOM.
Mills Air in business since 1992. That's over 30 years here in Central Florida. They're not going anywhere. Carrier factory authorized dealer. You can always turn to the experts at Carrier. Preventive maintenance on all brands, and that saves you money and can detect an upcoming breakdown. Visit millsair.com.
It's game day at Jim's house, and the spread is impressive.
Mike's already done some damage with the hot wings, and now he's dropping back and going deep for another slice of pizza.
I sure hope he brought the Pepto.
Mike knows the Pepto-Bismol provides fast 5-symptom relief from unexpected stomach upsets. He's no rookie.
The way he's throwing back those nachos, he's the GOAT.
Be ready for game day with Pepto-Bismol.
When you have nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea.
Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
What key is tonight going to be played in? Well, that's entirely up to you and your spirit. Over here at Wild Turkey, we're opting for something that rings true and can reverberate for ages. A little 101. Wild Turkey 101 has been pleasing crowds for decades with its iconic rich flavor. Crafted with generations of know-how and the finest ingredients. Wild Turkey. Trust your spirit. Wild Turkey Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. Copyright 2023 Campari America, New York, New York. Never compromise, drink responsibly.
It's hot. We all know that. Have you noticed your power bill is skyrocketing? The current cost of energy is the highest it's ever been, and it's probably going to just keep getting higher. Solar Source can change that for you. I recently took the plunge with Solar Source with my pool heater, and man, it's been a game changer. I love working with Solar Source. Solar Source has nearly 40 years in the business. They bring the power of the sun to over 6,000 Central Florida homes since 1984. Mine and my mom's and my sister's included. Solar Source makes it easy with a free estimate. Monster listeners, they have an online tool that lets you get your own solar estimate in just 30 seconds. No pressure, no salesman, just the facts. You can harness your own power and stop wasting thousands of dollars every year renting your electricity at higher and higher prices. Visit solarsource.com/monsters and see how easy it is to get your instant hassle-free quote. Solar Source, the most trusted name in solar. solarsource.com/monsters.
Your industry is unique. It faces its own challenges and risks that set it apart. That means choosing just any insurance company just won't cut it. At The Hartford, we take pride in knowing the ins and outs of your industry and help provide solutions that suit how you do business, from liability and property insurance to workers' comp and more. At The Hartford, we don't just talk about specialization, we live it. Learn how The Hartford can help your business at thehartford.com.
Hey, everybody, Jim Colbert here for Life Imaging FLA. Man, this client is already making a gigantic impact in this community. Testimonial after testimonial saying how Life Imaging FLA caught issues with people's hearts they had no idea was even happening. Saving lives every day like they've been doing in South Florida for many, many years. And you can have that same experience with your free heart scan from Life Imaging FLA. With a few minimum requirements, that's a $699 value. Non-invasive, and the information you get is absolutely priceless. For me, me, kidney and prostate issues are in my family, and my Life Imaging FLA scan showed I did have issues in both of those areas. But now, armed with the information, I can make the decision to take care of my long-term health care with Life Imaging FLA and their free heart scan. Contact Life Imaging FLA today and schedule your free scan. And it's so easy. Just pick up your cell phone and dial pound 250, say the keyword free heart scan. That's all you have to do. Pound 250, see the keyword free heart scan, and you'll be connected in seconds. You'll have the option to receive a one-time auto-dial text message from iHeartMedia.
Columbus Day weekend, visit Cocoa Beach on the Space Coast and support the National Kidney Foundation's 38th Annual Surf Fest, featuring hundreds of competitive surfers in pro and amateur divisions, live entertainment, and fun for the entire family. For more information, visit nkfsurf.com.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to goodrx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Walt Disney World Resort is hiring. Explore a variety of full-time and part-time roles at the heart of the magic and enjoy great benefits like complimentary theme park admission, exclusive discounts, and more. Apply today at waltdisneyworld.jobs.
This hour of Real Radio 104.1 sponsored by FloridaJobsNow.com coming October 11th.
Hey, stay in touch at Real Radio 1041 on the social media platform formerly known as Twitter. Brilliant. Powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
In just a moment, plus jury duty coming up next. But I saw this story and I was like, man, is this what's going to happen across the street from me? Am I going to have the same situation? When you have somebody trying to buy up a whole bunch of property and it can't use eminent domain where you just say, screw you, we're giving you this much money and we're taking your property. They do that when they're going to build like a highway or they have some reason that they absolutely have to take your property.
That's usually government related, correct?
Yeah, it tends to be. I think it might have to be. Yeah, it could be that too. You have to compensate the people, but they can't be holdouts. And there's this place in Australia that it was one house and everyone around them has sold their property. But this one house just refuses to sell their property, and it becomes more and more and more valuable as they build out and out and out from it. And take a look at this for those of you on YouTube at twitch.tv/thenewsjunkie. That's the house.
I've seen this before, yeah.
It's like a full-on suburbia outside of this house, and then there's one house by itself on the big, giant property that it sits on.
Insane.
Yeah, and it just looks so strange there. They said now it could be worth like $30, $40, $50 million, but the people who live there are like, not for sale, not doing it. And the folks who built out this neighborhood, you see, for them, this area that they live on, it's almost 2 acres, the area that they're on. And 2 acres is pretty big. My house growing up was an acre. That's why they called it the acreage. Everything was like an acre or more.
Everybody got an acre?
Yeah, basically.
And
we
cancer.
got acre and a quarter and a whole bunch of cancer. And the houses out there were all kind of situated like that. So this house is on 2 acres, but instead of one house, the developer says they could put 50 houses in this area.
Well, right next to each other.
Right next to each other, like boom, right on top of each other. No yards, no nothing.
This picture is problematic for me. If you could zoom in as much as you can, like get it as close to full screen. What they've done here is they've built the surrounding area in such a way that they assume that eventually they will get these people to cave. Mm-hmm. Until that happens, this is the most annoying neighborhood because the houses go all the way to the edge there.
Oh, you're saying if you wanted to go this way over here, and instead you have to go way around?
Yeah, if you are visiting the last house at the end of that thing, then you just have there's no throughway there. You have to turn around and go all the way back to wherever the end of that block is. It's so ugly and not it's not very
it's not functional right now. That's what it is.
That's like in Central Florida, we have lakes.
It's not very efficient is where I was getting.
Like you find yourself trying to get to one portion of Orlando, and all of a sudden there's a massive lake in the middle of it, and you get completely lost. And sometimes the GPS doesn't update itself because there's brand new buildings, or something along those lines.
And I think it was. I know it was Central Florida. I think it was the neighborhood where our old boss lives. It was somewhere in that area. Maybe not the same neighborhood, but the one I always like to bring up because it's just a mind blowing how this could be a thing. But there were like two houses that share a backyard, but to drive from one to the other takes 20 minutes.
I was just thinking about that. Yeah, I forgot what the stat was, but you could look at the other house, but if you wanted to get your car in their driveway, you had to drive so far around in, I don't even know if it was like into another state or something. It was a long trip to be able to get over there. And so these people, they're holding out. They said, we don't want to sell. We don't care about the money. Build what you must around us, and we're not going to cave. They turned down millions of dollars, and they said they just don't want to do it. All right, let's see. We got enough time to do this, so let's get caught up on the story we were talking about yesterday. Let's do jury duty.
Court is now in session, so put your phone down and pay attention. Before we call the bailiff over to whip your ass, you're now on jury duty with the News Junkie.
Jury duty brought to you by the one, the only Mo DeWitt of the DeWitt Law Firm. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. He is the best. He's an amazing guy, an amazing attorney. 866-CALL-MO, 866-CALL-MOE, or go to justcallmo.com. Is a moment in your life where you have a lot of potential options when you pick an attorney. But trust me, you don't want somebody where they're all over television, but you're never going to be in their office. You're never going to meet them. They're never going to fight for you in a courtroom. Why would you want that?
Oh,
why
unless
would you want
you're in their commercial, Sean.
Yeah, why would you want to bring their business to you when the only time they want you is to hold the big check in that commercial? You want somebody who's going to hear your story and fight for you. That's Moses DeWitt. 866-CALL-MO, or go to justcallmo.com. All right, so let's get updated on this. The story we were talking about yesterday, which was horrific, there was a video that's about 12 minutes long of this Pennsylvania cop, Ronald Davis, who is 37 years old. Now, it's a little complicated. I did a video about this yesterday if you want to check it out with more details. But Ronald Davis is currently married, but also had a mistress. And he's been fighting with his mistress. And he said that she was suicidal and wanted to get her sent to a mental health facility. She was unwilling. She did not want to be going to this mental health facility. But they did the equivalent of like a Baker Act on her, and she was stuck there for 4 or 5 days at this mental health facility. And she said that she was normal the whole time, didn't have any problems, et cetera, et cetera. Somebody was filming it. I found out yesterday the person filming the video of him throwing this woman around and smashing her on the ground and doing all these things where at some point she said she couldn't breathe. The person filming it was his police buddy, who he told, "Hey, you want to film this for me? Because I need this. I need to show I'm doing the right thing." And you go, "What made you think that was a good idea?" And his police buddy said afterwards that he would not have done it the same way, that he did not believe this woman was a threat to herself, that he did not think the officer behaved in the right way, and that it was a bad idea that they did everything that happened. They released some text messages between the guy, Ronald Davis, and this Michelle Perfanoff. And at one point, the thing that she had said was, "I think I'm going to drive off a cliff." Right? Those were the types of things she was texting to him. Here's the real issue I have with this. If you get sent to a mental health facility, I don't care if a cop sends you there or anything else, why wouldn't they immediately do a screening of you and see if you should be there or not? Right? Because at the end of all of this, they did a screening of this poor woman after 4 or 5 days, locked away unwittingly in this mental health facility. They said, "All right, let's check up on you." And they found out that she was of sound mind and sound body, that there was nothing wrong with her mentally, that she was not a threat to herself, that there was no reason she should have been in this place to begin with. But they didn't determine that until the end. So she had to stay there all of that time. And the cop obviously has been charged with all sorts of stuff, including unlawful restraint, false imprisonment.
Kidnapping,
blah, blah, blah.
wasn't that one of them or no?
On the story that I see today, it doesn't say kidnapping, but there was at least like 4 or 5 charges total, I believe. But yeah,
He
he
thought
said
he could absolutely get away with that.
Well, he
It's
said
amazing.
in the text messages, he said something to the equivalent of, I know you're not crazy, but I can convince them that you are.
I know
in the
the
text
law.
message. Yeah, I'm going to show them that you are. And he was fighting with her constantly, not to mention the fact that this guy's got a family, a wife, and is over here involving himself in this, and just an absolute mess. It makes him look like the most controlling scumbag that you could ever imagine. Let's do one dispatch or two maybe real quick and just check in with you, see what the temperature is out there. Here's Jackie talking about Naked Attraction, the show that's now on Max that a lot of people are discussing.
One of the times where I wish I was listening live so I could have chimed in back when you were talking about this, but right now this is just a random subject, but the Naked Attraction show is great. The Monsters mentioned it 2 days ago, so I jumped right on it. It's quick, it's fun, it's light, it's informative. They go about nudity in a nonchalant type of way. Of course, over there being English and European, they're not as stuffy as nudity as we are.
True.
And it's actually super informative in the way that when somebody picks a trait or quality, and the host is really cool and engaging, she asks why they picked that, and then they show you like why certain doctors or why anthropologists have labeled this attractive quality or trait in the past. So it's actually pretty fun, and you follow their date for 2 minutes, and then they do a quick fast forward 3 weeks or 2 weeks later if they're still talking or whatever. So
Nice.
It's all about the process of picking somebody, and you don't really have to follow them on the journey if they're still dating or whatever. So it's really fun. Give the show a shot.
Thank you, Jackie. Lots of people have been talking about that. I've seen, even though they didn't like do an ad campaign,
No.
they didn't. They just put it out there.
But
Max is like, here you go.
Is it the U.S. version or they're just?
No, it's their version. It's
okay, got it.
the British one that's years old. Like it's been around for a while.
Yeah.
And they just said we need some new content. Maybe writer's strike related. I don't know.
I mean, there was probably a handful of things they might have released by now. I mean, have we run out of the things that are already produced that they're able to finish without writers and actors?
Well, the only thing I could think of that's coming up this week is new Bachelor in Paradise and new Oldo Bachelor. What's it called? Golden Bachelor is coming up this week. Obviously, those aren't scripted. I'm sure there's some other stuff that's still coming out. One more. Actually, you know what? We do have to take a quick break. And when we get back, we'll get into some of these, plus an update on that JetBlue flight and an email that we have to go over. It's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio 104.1 is 30 years old. Guess it's time to move out of our parents' guest house. Garage. Thanks for keeping the dream alive over 3 decades.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
What's happening? I hope your Tuesday is going great so far behind the wheel in Orlando. A few things going on right now. Eastbound lanes of Sand Lake Road are closed at Weingard Road due to an incident. Also, Reinhardt Road in Seminole northbound. That's after County Highway 46 approaching Town Center Boulevard. All lanes are closed. Your usual delay east and westbound on I-4 approaching State Road 535. And also, an incident is reported on John Young Parkway at the intersection of Holden Avenue. Our Safe Touch security line is 866-676-8477. I'm Brian Black.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Lowe's knows fall is the perfect time for outdoor projects. Right now, you can keep your yard looking its best and save. Take care of leaves with leaf blowers starting at just $89.98. Lowe's knows home improvement. While supplies last, see store for details.
This earful of Real Radio is brought to you by JustCallMo.com. Injured on the go? JustCallMo.com.
For more information about contests on this station, go to realradio.fm/rules.
It's game day at Jim's house, and the spread is impressive. Mike's already done some damage with the hot wings, and now he's dropping back and going deep for another slice of pizza. I sure hope he brought the Pepto. Mike knows the Pepto-Bismol provides fast 5-symptom relief from unexpected stomach upsets. He's no rookie. The way he's throwing back those nachos, he's the GOAT.
Be ready for game day with Pepto-Bismol.
When you have nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea.
Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
That's right. It's a real mess out there, Kate. We're seeing heavy congestion on the eastbound lanes of the main expressway with traffic backed up for miles.
What do you have in common? You don't want to be in either for too long. Move into the fast lane with Fairwinds Credit Union. We'll help you set goals, save more, and be your guide to achieving financial freedom together. Visit fairwinds.org/together and become a member today. Fairwinds. Financial freedom happens here. Federally insured by NCUA.
In life, some days are good, and some could be better. The same is true for recovery. Both take work, both take adjustments. Finding your path is a key part of your journey, and then it's all about walking it every day. Embrace the good days, the not-so-good days, and the challenges, and acknowledge how you overcame them. Be open to every part of the journey and welcome it. It's unique, and it's all part of you. Find the path to recovery that works for you. Learn more at cdc.gov/stopoverdose.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-859-3220. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 to 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-859-3220. That's 800-859-3220 for $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big Lou at 800-859-3220. 800-859-3220.
If there's anything better than getting a few of your favorite things from McDonald's, it's getting a few of your favorite things from McDonald's for less in the McDonald's app. Delicious. Order in the McDonald's app today. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Use mobile order and pay on the McD app and get 25% off any purchase of $5 or more, like a steak, egg, and cheese bagel meal. At participating McDonald's, valid once a day through 12/31/23, excludes tax, must opt into rewards.
I've perfected my buy one, get one game, putting in reps at the outlet mall. Now I'm ready for McDonald's buy one, get one for $2 deal. I can pick up Big Mac with 2 all-beef patties and Big Mac sauce, or 100% fresh beef quarter pounder with cheese, or a juicy 10-piece chicken McNuggets made with all white meat chicken, or a filet of fish with crispy fish and melty American cheese. When I buy one, I get one for just $2. I'm finally ready to go BOGO Pro. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal. Valid for item of equal or lesser value.
Jesse Kelly here. Do you feel protected? My personal protection plan is owning gold. The Oxford Gold Group helps you buy gold to have on hand or convert it into your 401k. If things get weird, I have gold on hand. I like that. You can buy coins or convert part of your 401k with the Oxford Gold Group. It's easy and safe. 833-995-GOLD. That's 833-995-GOLD. 833-995-GOLD.
Major phone carriers make you sign contracts with rigid data plans to trap you into a kind of forced phonogamy. Sounds pretty insecure if you ask me. At Consumer Cellular, we believe in a more consensual and healthy form of phonogamy, free of contracts and more flexible to your data needs. This way, you stick around not because we force you to with contracts and fees, but because you love our phone plans. Like ardently love our phone plans. Phonogamously. Consumer Cellular. When freedom calls, we're here to answer. Call us at 1-888-FREEDOM.
90% of us don't brush long enough. Around half don't brush twice a day. And 75% brush with old, worn-out bristles. The Quip electric toothbrush fixes that. It has timed sonic vibrations that aren't like a jackhammer, a nifty cover for brushing on the go, and a wireless design that mounts to mirrors. We also deliver brush heads and supplies from $5. Choose an electric toothbrush accepted by the American Dental Association. Shop Quip from $25 and get your first refill free at getquip.com/star.
No payments until 2024 with approved credit? Visit nationstrucks.com right now.
Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman & Lind Studios. Why Kaufman & Lind? Because you matter. Contact them at whenyouneedus.com or dial pound 546 on your cell phone. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Listen on your free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts.
There's a story out today that is talking about how all of the big food companies are lowering their outlook of sales for like the rest of this year and maybe into the next couple of years. So like chip manufacturers, anybody who makes any kind of food, they're lowering the amount that they think they're going to sell. Any guesses as to why that might be? Because I was surprised by this.
Gosh, I mean, it's something to do with the holidays, but you would think holidays there's more food being bought.
No, it's something we've talked about on the show quite a bit, actually.
Inflation?
No, it probably inflation related because people are cutting back.
Supply chain.
No, they are specifically citing Wegovy and these other drugs as now having such a profound impact.
No way.
I didn't know they were that mainstream.
I didn't think so either. Anybody in chat or on the Texas service or elsewhere, check in if you're on any of the, what is it, Wegovy? What's the other big one? I keep forgetting. Ozempic is the other. That's a real big one. And there's a few others that do the same exact thing.
That many people on it that it would have an effect on how much food is going on being sold?
They said it's affecting these companies and it's affecting their value inside portfolios. So if you're like trade in stocks, they say there's going to be less people that are eating all this food because allegedly when you take Ozempic, your hunger just almost drops off a cliff.
Yeah, you're supposed to get full a lot faster.
But you don't have entire families on Ozempic, do you?
I wouldn't think so. I thought it was still a fairly, well, not rare, but like, you might know one person who's on it. I didn't think it was that common since this was sort of a newer thing. But they say overall consumption of foods by people who are on Wegovy or Ozempic is so far down when they're on the drug that it could have an effect on the overall market of people who make food. It's pretty insane to think about that. But, I mean, look, there's good and bad in this. For one, Ozempic and Wegovy, you're cheating, folks. It's a cheat. It's a cheat to get the weight off of you.
Hot take.
I don't care
Hello,
if you
Whoopi.
cheat. No, I don't care if you cheat, but you're definitely cheating if you do that instead of actually putting the really hard work in. And the problem is that if you only get rid of your cravings for food via medicine, utilizing this medicine to get rid of those cravings so that you eat less and drop off the weight, when you stop taking this drug, you will almost inevitably put that weight back on. So therein lies the problem. And it's a problem that no one loves more than the drug makers, the manufacturers of Wegovy and Ozempic, because they know you're going to go like this. You're on a roller coaster.
Still have no idea what the long-term effects of this is.
No, not for this use. We know that if you use it for what it was originally intended for.
Just like for some reason screams painkillers to me, like where it's going to be the best way to treat your pain. And finally, this is something that's going to help people manage their pain and end up being one of the worst. Is it considered epidemic?
Yeah, the opioid epidemic.
It's one of the worst epidemics of our country. And
it was terrible. Killed a whole lot of people. And the companies that were involved in it, they knew most of the time that these adverse effects were happening. They just wanted to make money, as is, I think, outlined in that new show, which I still haven't watched, about the
painkillers. You got to watch it. It is fascinating.
I want to see it. We got it on the list, but we haven't gotten to that one yet, kind of because it seems sad. But I still would like to watch what they show and how they display all that stuff going down. So they say, this is a headwind for food and beverage companies because when you take these drugs, and it's the most phenomenally interesting thing in the world to me, we need more research on this. You may find it interesting too, maybe not. But when you take Ozempic, it doesn't just cut out your desire for more food. It's an impulse controller. So as we've discussed before,
zombie?
You would turn into a kind of a zombie. Your wants and your different impulses to either drink or smoke or gamble or any other bad thing. If you had a sex addiction, it might impact that. If it was a true sex addiction, it was like an impulse control issue. Whatever it hits in your brain, it's lowering your impulse to do stuff, and then therefore lowering your desire to eat too much. And it really gets into an interesting argument, I think, where it's like, is that miserable? Like,
I don't know, because I mean, you hear about like the Hollywood stars. That's where it came out first, that people were on Ozempic, and it's like you were still able to be on that reality TV show. It didn't seem like there was much happening in your personality. I mean, I've seen people who have gone from severe depression, not being on any medication, to be on antidepressants, and you could tell that there's something that has changed.
Yeah.
And their, way of talking and dealing with situations. But does that mean that they are zombies, not feeling anything at all?
Oh, I don't know. That's such a tough one because there's some clear-cut examples of you see somebody who's a schizophrenic or they have some other debilitating issue or they're bipolar and they take the medication and it evens them out and you're like, damn, I have definitely noticed an improvement in you. But then you see some people who, I don't know, they seem to have like less of an issue and it takes the personality right out of them. And this is kind of bigger because these people aren't taking this because they need it. They're taking it because they want it, because it makes it easier to lose weight. Even the laziest among us can lose weight with those drugs. That's sexy. That's big money. That works well. But if we have a giant society full of all these people who are skinnier, that's good. That's good for healthcare and other things. But if everybody is just gambling stops, smoking stops, drinking stops, everybody wakes up and just kind of goes to work, goes home, whittles something, whatever you do. It's a really, really interesting question, actually. Is that a better existence or a worse existence? Have we fixed something or broken something else?
I don't understand how people can, with Ozempic or Wegovy, stop the urge to eat. Like, are they making sure they eat it all? Because if you don't have an urge to eat for 3 days, you're going to pass out. It's going to have a long-term, even short-term effect on you and the nutrition that your body actually needs for it. So,
I don't think it takes away your urge to eat completely. It just
like you're on a banana for 24 hours. That's it.
No, it just smaller portions. Like it's. I don't know. There have been other kind of weight loss stuff that's done it. It's almost like it does that like hunger suppression kind of deal.
Mm-hmm. Well, here's a headline from the New York Times. It says an extreme risk of taking Ozempic, malnutrition, and it causes your stomach. What the drug actually does, just so everybody knows, is the drug causes your body to process food slower. So when you eat food, instead of it going at the pace that it generally goes through your system, through your digestive tract, and then out the other side, Ozempic makes it sit in your stomach. And so does Wegovy. And it kind of sits there for longer so that once you've had one meal, you're full. That feeling of a full stomach is still there, and it processes slower through your system. So there's where issues can come in. I don't know. It's just a very, very interesting drug. And now it's at the level that's having an impact on people who sell food in grocery stores and all those places.
So weird.
Yeah. Tips at thenewsjunkie.com. And Christine emails. We talked yesterday about CrimeCon, that crime convention, where the woman who was the mother of a victim in the Idaho murders showed up and kind of engaged with the people who were at this convention. Christine says, this was my third CrimeCon. One of the things I love about CrimeCon is that it's super respectful to the families. Many victims' families attend, especially for open cases, to get the word out in the community regarding their loved ones. Speakers range from prosecutors to cops, CSIs, to victims and victims' families, to defense attorneys, TV podcast personalities, the whole gambit. My favorite sessions are the ones on using technology to solve crimes. And anything with Paul Holes, former CSI, helped to solve the Golden State Killer cold case. I've already bought my tickets for 2024, which is in Nashville. And she says, based on what I heard you say on the show, which, by the way, I love the show, I don't think you understand what CrimeCon is. It really isn't about the bad guy. It's about the victims and their families. If you love forensic files, crime documentaries, it's an event that expands on those types of shows. And she says, here's the agenda for this, and sends it over. No, I don't think
I would be very interested in going, to be completely honest. I think it would be fascinating.
I don't think I was misunderstanding it at all. I know the audience that it's going for, and I know the product that it's going for. You can choose to view it two ways. You can choose to view it as getting excited and exhilarated and turning this kind of thing into content when it's people are victims in this, or you can say it's building a community that helps solve unsolved crimes and helps bring attention to the families that are victims. You take that either way. You could take a CrimeCon as absolutely doing something that's a net negative to society or a net positive. I think I agree with you, and obviously the mom of the victim agrees with you, that more so, it's great if you have a missing loved one and you have this audience of tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people you could plug into, and like on message boards and stuff, they would keep your case alive. That's as valuable as anything else you could get in life. That's cool. That's interesting. Whether it's titillating, the content or not, is another thing. Okay, we'll do some dispatches from you in a second. I did see this story. The world is getting weird, folks. It's a strange time to be alive. There's a story in the Wall Street Journal today about people treating their pets. And we all know that people do this. We like to spoil our pets, and we all do that kind of stuff.
Treating them to a nice dinner, treating them like a spa day.
You get them a special treat. You get them a spa day.
They could have an entire room to pee in.
You get them
inside your house.
You get them groomed, and you do all the things that you can do to show your animal that you care. And everybody likes to do that. But that's usually big animals, cats, dogs that we do that with. Times are changing. This story from the Wall Street Journal goes, Zelda loves her couch by celebrity designers Nate Berkus and Jeremiah Brent. She crawls on the faux leather sofa and basks under the warmth of her heat lamp.
Oh, my God. Did you guys use ChatGPT for that?
Cracking her mouth open. She smiles automatically, says Melanie Janes, who bought the 9-inch brown sofa for Zelda, who is her pet bearded dragon. It's so
I knew
soft.
it had to be a lizard.
And that bearded dragon will eat your face off.
She's got a way better couch than me, she says. And so they go on how people have gone to spoiling their pets that aren't dogs or cats. There's a family that lives with 9 guinea pigs, and they talk about all the ways they spoil them. They bring their little guinea pigs to a place where for $40 each, they get a bath, brush, and blow dry, and a massage. They make little rumbling noises while they do it. And there's companies that are brilliantly positioning to make money off this. Courtney is a fan, I believe, of the two people I mentioned, which is Nate Berkus and Jeremiah Brent. They're designers. So designers have said, hey, you know what world we're not milking and getting enough money out of? People buy their own furniture, but people want like fancy stuff for their pets too. So now they have iguana couches and bearded dragon couches.
Oh, gosh. Here comes my Lily Pulitzer dog bread.
And they're going to have these kind of things. And the price tag on them, brace yourself. It ain't going to be cheap because you're still paying the premium here, whether it's for your lizard or for your pet turtle or anything else that you have as a pet. The update I teased on that JetBlue flight is that there is now currently an investigation going on by federal authorities, which is that normal? Have you heard any other stories where if there's turbulence, they do an investigation? Protocol?
I mean, I feel like that means somebody effed up. Like there may have been a way to avoid this terrible turbulence.
Because if the NTSB, the National Transportation Safety Board, I think, if they get involved in something, usually it's a crash or a pilot has done something wrong. I didn't know that if you simply have severe turbulence that would spark an investigation, but it appears to be the way. Okay, we have people chiming in on the Ozempic thing. Lots more to talk about, including something that all of us are now facing. Something just got more expensive for all of us. What is it? It's coming up next on the News Junkie.
X marks the spot at Real Radio 104.1 on X.
Yeah, no one calls it that.
Powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
What's happening? I hope your Tuesday is going great so far behind the wheel in Orlando. A few things going on right now. Eastbound lanes of Sand Lake Road are closed at Weingard Road due to an incident. Also, Reinhardt Road in Seminole northbound. That's after County Highway 46 approaching Town Center Boulevard. All lanes are closed. Your usual delay east and westbound on I-4 approaching State Road 535. And also, an incident is reported on John Young Parkway at the intersection of Holden Avenue. Our Safe Touch security line is 866-676-8477. I'm Brian Black.
This report is sponsored by Uni, a product of ePass.
With the time and money Pete saved with ePass, he's learning how to make bird calls. Which is good, because he needs practice. Getting ePass is time well saved. Visit getepass.com to get your free ePass toll sticker or 19-state Uni. That's getepass.com.
This hour of Real Radio 104.1, sponsored by FloridaJobsNow.com, coming October 11th. The biggest stars in all of music shared this stage at our 2023 iHeartRadio Music Festival. Brought to you by Capital One.
Let me hear you.
Foo Fighters.
Fall Out Boy.
Kelly Clarkson.
Kane Brown.
Lil Wayne. Lil Durk. Lenny Kravitz.
Miguel.
Public Enemy.
Sheryl Crow.
Travis Scott. Tim McGraw.
TLC.
30 Seconds to Mars. The most massive live music event of the year.
See all the action now at iHeartRadio.com/festival. And get ready to relive it with an iHeartRadio Music Festival special.
Streaming on Hulu next month.
O'Reilly Auto Parts' new Brake Best Select Pro brand raises the bar for the best aftermarket domestic brake pads and rotors available. For vehicle-specific friction formulations, Quiet-Tech noise-canceling shims, and stainless steel hardware, choose Brake Best Select Pro. Professional-grade brakes from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Everything gets better when you're a Dunkin' Rewards member. Yes, even Mondays, because every Monday of this month, you get a free medium, hot, or iced coffee with purchase. Not a member? Join on the app. Order now for a better Monday. America runs on Dunkin'. Limit 1 per member per Monday. Additional charges, exclusions, and terms may apply. Participation may vary. Limited time offer.
Your dentist recommends flossing your teeth once a day, but 70% of us ignore this advice because traditional flossing can be, well, a hassle. But Quip's rechargeable water flosser turns you into a flossing fanatic. With gentle and deep clean pressure modes, the Quip water flosser delivers feel-good flossing, and its clutter-free design includes a long-lasting charge and a 360-degree floss tip for hard-to-reach spots. Right now, get your first floss tip refill free at getquip.com/radio. That's getquip.com/radio.
It happens in a matter of seconds, but the aftermath can last a lifetime. Car crash, slip and fall, there's only one Mo you should call. The Mo you know. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Mo DeWitt, Orlando's injury attorney.
These days, there are plenty of things to worry about, but keeping pests out of your home shouldn't be one of them. That's why you need Massey Services. Massey eliminates pests before they get inside. They start by carefully inspecting the inside and outside of your home and then focus customized treatments on the outside. Best of all, your satisfaction is guaranteed or your money back. That's the Massey difference. Expect more and get it.
For those in recovery, support from friends and family often leads to better outcomes. Here's to those who are essential to helping people find their path to recovery. Visit cdc.gov/stop-overdose for information about treatment options and how to support those experiencing addiction.
It's game day at Jim's house, and the spread is impressive.
Mike's already done some damage with the hot wings, and now he's dropping back and going deep for another slice of pizza.
I sure hope he brought the Pepto.
Mike knows the Pepto-Bismol provides fast 5-symptom relief from unexpected stomach upsets. He's no rookie.
The way he's throwing back those nachos, he's the GOAT.
Be ready for game day with Pepto-Bismol.
When you have nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea.
Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Listen up. This is so easy. Do you want the most money for your used car? Of course you do. And a hassle-free process? Yeah, that's GiveMeTheVin.com. Give Me The Vin is fast, easy, reliable, and pays top dollar for your car. It's that simple. And Give Me The Vin is A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau and thousands of online reviews. Get an instant cash offer and the most money for your car right now at GiveMeTheVin.com. America's best car buyer.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Your industry is unique. It faces its own challenges and risks that set it apart. That means choosing just any insurance company just won't cut it. At The Hartford, we take pride in knowing the ins and outs of your industry and help provide solutions that suit how you do business, from liability and property insurance to workers' comp and more. At The Hartford, we don't just talk about specialization, we live it. Learn how The Hartford can help your business at thehartford.com.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
If you or someone you know is having thoughts of suicide or experiencing a mental health or substance abuse crisis, 988 provides 24/7 compassionate support and connection to trained counselors. When you call, text, or chat 988, you'll be quickly connected to trained crisis counselors who will listen to your concerns, provide support, and connect you to additional resources if needed. There is hope. The Lifeline works. You are not alone. For 24/7 support, just call, text, or chat 988.
Hear the latest news from the headlines on your phone. Download the free iHeartRadio app for exclusive live coverage of breaking news. From what's happening where you live to what's happening across the country. Live from the center of the story. Listen for free, anywhere, anytime. Download the free iHeartRadio app today.
Buy new Nissans with no payments for 6 months. Visit Sutherland Nissan Orlando now.
It's a tie-up, and my God, Chevy Chase is such a douchebag. Like, everything I see about Chevy Chase, I'm constantly reminded when I see stories like this that he just seems impossible to deal with.
Mm-hmm. It's amazing to me how stories keep coming out. Like, he has been a douchebag for decades.
Forever, and he still keeps getting all this work. And the latest thing was there was an article about Chevy Chase in Variety, and they said he made some comments about being on the show Community, and he said, the show Community wasn't funny enough for me, ultimately. I felt a little bit constrained. I felt happier being alone. I just didn't want to be surrounded by that table every day with those people. And he said it wasn't funny or hard-hitting enough for him, so he was mad about this project.
Sorry, what needs to be hard-hitting?
Yeah, about Community.
What does he think hard-hitting means?
Also, the show Community is very funny. It's a well-written show for most of the seasons that it existed.
And you're saying this now? I mean, you were on it the entire time.
Yeah, I'm not sure why all of a sudden this is coming out, but, here we are.
Did you think, what was it, Vacation was hard-hitting?
That is a funny movie.
The human psyche?
Both those movies that he was in, or however many he was in, were funny movies. They were good movies, but it seems like they may have been funny movies despite him, because he seems like impossible to deal with and egotistical. And I don't know that I've heard many people. Didn't we hear the anecdote one time? I don't know if this is actually true, but I'll put it out there with, grain of salt on top of it. I thought I remember hearing at some point that they were going to do a roast of him, but they ended up nixing the idea of doing a Chevy Chase roast because they couldn't find enough people that actually liked him enough. Like, he was that disliked that they go, no, it turns out not enough people would be willing to pretend they like you after they roast you. We've got a major, major issue here. And they turned it off.
There was a roast of Chevy Chase. The Friars Club did it.
Was there one?
Yeah.
Is that not televised if it's Friars Club? Maybe it was before they started televising.
I have to click through to see this.
For the youngins, what's Friars Club?
That's like the organization that all these comedians were part of that would do these roasts.
Oh, okay. But it wasn't ever televised. It was just like an event to go to.
No, I don't think so to begin with, but I might be wrong.
It started as not being televised. The Friars Club was kind of an exclusive kind of, the famous people were in it. It was like I think it was a boys' club. There might have been
the Met Gala.
Might have been women in it, but they would have these. And they would roast somebody, they would to honor them, and they were kind of something of legend. And Comedy Central started airing them, and then I think somewhere around there they went, we don't really like these being on TV.
No, because it makes it so everything that they're saying is public, and they can't do what they wanted to do.
Yeah, so I think they parted ways, and then Comedy Central went, well, this is way too big of a hit for us. We're going to have to just do our own. And then it turned into the Comedy Central roast.
Which they haven't done in a minute, right?
No, I haven't heard about one if they have. If they have done one, it hasn't made a lot of waves out there and hasn't gotten a bunch of headlines. But Chevy Chase is like, Community wasn't funny enough for me. I felt constrained. It wasn't hard hitting enough. And he wanted to be in scenes with just him and his character, he said. None of the other folks.
By himself?
Yeah, he wanted to do just scenes with him and his character, and the stuff with everybody else just wasn't very funny.
So according to a post on Reddit, the New York Friars Club roast of Chevy Chase was so brutal and mean-spirited, the Comedy Central only aired it once in 2002. On IMDb, it says, according to Chevy Chase, he was truly shocked and hurt by the comments directed at him in the roast. As soon as it was over, he went straight to his hotel room and sank into depression while Paul Schaefer comforted him.
Oh, my God. Jesus. I found that leather couch for bearded dragons that these people bought.
Oh, good.
Look at this. They have like a whole website.
Oh, yeah, that's the cutest thing. It's only for... Oh, it's for all pets then.
It's not for just... all little pets.
Oh.
It's about 9 inches long.
Oh,
so...
it's only $20?
Yeah, it's not bad, actually.
That is very surprising. I was expecting this to be like a designer leather couch.
Do they have one that could fit Carl?
I don't know. I think they have some more for pets.
Oh, my
but
God, I love it.
It's really, really smart to get like higher end stuff because like if there was a really interesting looking like dog couch like that, and Carl loved it. Obviously, you'd throw some money at that.
1,000%. I also I got one from Target or I don't know Chewy not too long ago, which looks like a standard West Elm couch. I mean, granted, it was like $15, and he never uses it, but it works with the decor. If you want a modern home, you don't need a giant pineapple. And as I say this, I do remember I also bought Carl a bed that's shaped like an avocado, and he loves it. So
all right.
Everything that I just said has no validation.
Well, these are the things we do for our pets. This is what we do because we get.
He's my son. Okay, he's my son.
We'll get them whatever it takes to make them happy, and a lot of people do that, and that's pretty decent that they didn't jack up the prices more than that because I'm sure they could have if they wanted to. The president, I guess, was, and this is historic, never happened before. President Biden joined the picket line for the United Auto Workers, UAW.
Yeah, focus.
And he's out there. He's got his megaphone. Let's see what he says. Can't really hear him that well. Kind of far away.
Oh, this is perfect.
He just said, I'm marching on the UAW picket line. And he's out there. I guess they have a quote from him. He said, you deserve the significant raise you need and other benefits. He's talking to these workers in Detroit. And, of course, he's in solidarity with the striking auto workers. I looked it up. They said average compensation for UAW employees is about $93,000 a year. Median compensation is currently $101,531 a year. And
they want 40% more.
They want, they laughed away 20% more.
Yeah.
In some of the departments.
Something we're missing, though?
Well, it depends on what department they're in. So average total compensation, this is with bonuses and everything, for the engineers in the UAW is $109,000. Marketing is $86,000. Design, $83,000. Operations, $84,000. But if you're in administration, it's much less. It's $54,000, the average total compensation. Man. Still good money. Business development
depends on where you live.
$97,600 or $962. Remember, that's on average or median in terms of the numbers that I gave you. On average, $93,000, median $101,000. That could be skewed by various other things. So you're still going to have people making much less than that. But it seems like they're asking a lot. What if they wanted to get a 40% increase in pay for the lowest earning employees in some small bracket? I can understand that and make sense of that. But if it's like across the board, I don't know. You're not going to get the kind of support for that once they see what your demands are and that you want a 4-day work week and stuff, as they did for the writer's strike, because I think that one kind of resonated better than a lot of people think it did. Okay, couple of dispatches so we can get you worked in here. I do not want to ignore you. I want to make sure we hear from you. I knew Swilly was going to chime in. He's got so many of these like amphibians and turtles and all these little animals around his place. Let's see what he says.
Oh, I love to spoil my animals. I got a whole room of critters over there. One of them's a bearded dragon named Winston, and he has his own terrarium. It's an 85-gallon custom-built thing, but it's open, so he has the run of the room. He goes wherever he wants.
That's funny.
And they get spoiled to hell. I'm talking like spa day. I'm talking mani-pedis when applicable, because snakes can't get mani-pedis.
No.
They get a catering service. I would totally buy furniture for any of them, because it would be hilarious to come home to see Winston
on a
knocking
couch
back scotch and smoking a cigar in his study.
Don't get me wrong, a terrarium with like stuff from outside and bark and tree limbs and whatever you put in there, totally cool. I get it. That could be cool in its own way. But one that was done up like, let's say it was like the set of Friends or Seinfeld.
Oh my God,
or,
stop it. That would be so awesome.
I would love that. And then you go in and your pet lizard's just laying on its leather couch that's like nice and warm like it wants it to be.
Count me in.
I don't know why. It just seems more fun that way. Here's John Coop with a dispatch.
What up, news junkies?
Hey.
Just wanted to chime in real quick about the whole spoiling your pets thing you were just talking about. On the Jim Colbert show the other day, they were talking about the same thing, and he had mentioned that that's like a $50 billion a year market.
Doesn't surprise
for pet
me.
supplies and stuff like that.
Yeah, I can make sense of that.
30 billion or 50 billion, something like that. All right, guys. Peace.
Thank you, John. One more for now. This is Joseph, and he says, I work in a pharmacy. He's talking about Wegovy and Ozempic, which we mentioned earlier that the companies that sell food, like in the grocery store, are lowering their estimates of how much income they'll bring in this year, how much revenue they'll generate this year, because they're worried about more and more people going on Wegovy and Ozempic. And with the popularity of that drug, people eating less for maybe the first time in American history. Here's Joseph.
So I work at a pharmacy. I've been working as a pharmacy technician. I'm not a pharmacist, but I worked as a technician for 10 years. Now I work in an independent pharmacy, and we get prescriptions for Wegovy, Trulicity, Ozempic, Mounjaro. They're all basically doing the same thing. Most of them are for diabetes, but half the time, not even more than half the time, it's not even covered. So I don't believe they're going to be losing money on food, because most of the time it's not even covered.
Well, if it's not covered by your insurance, it's still got to only be the rich people that are taking it, because that's expensive.
The rich never eat.
Yeah, I think that if you have, I thought that they approved it for weight loss use. Hold on, let me see. Ozempic approved.
This is
weight
the part
loss
where
use.
Sean Googles while talking.
Yeah, you see what happens.
This is what happens when he doesn't tell me to do it, but
Right.
I'm okay with it.
No, this article from USC Davis Health says Ozempic is not approved for weight loss unless anything's changed since then.
So you have to have diabetes in order to get it. How are these? I mean, then again.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Yeah, exactly.
But your insurance company would probably want you to take this stuff, because your insurance company desperately wants you to lose weight, because the health outcomes are so much better.
Well, then they'll make a bunch of money off of it.
Well, your insurance company's not going to make money off of it, other than you'll be cheaper as a patient for them down the road. But the drug companies, wow, they will make a lot of money off of it, because people will realize that they have to basically keep taking it forever. Because if you stop taking it and you don't change from taking it to not taking it and then exercising a lot and eating less and actually having the ability to do it without the assistance of the drug, you're just going to go right back where you were. All right, final dispatch is stories that didn't make the cut. And today we're going to wrap everything up for a Share the Show Tuesday. It's all coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is the Jim Colbert Show.
I don't think anybody's made a bigger turn than Schwarzenegger from action to comedy. Who else has gone from predator to pregnant? It's insane.
Yeah.
That's range.
The Jim Colbert Show. Weekdays at 3 on Real Radio 104.1.
This weather report is brought to you by Mills Air.
I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Allison Gargaro with a look at your Central Florida forecast. Afternoon highs today reaching the upper 80s. It's going to be warm and humid. Shower and thunderstorm chances on the rise, mainly after 3 o'clock. We're looking at 70% coverage, the chance for heavy rain, frequent lightning, as well as gusty winds. We always say when thunder roars, head indoors. Want to make sure everybody is staying safe on this Tuesday evening. I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Allison Gargaro.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. Since 2010, Blindster has sold millions of custom blinds, shades, and shutters to satisfied customers across the country with 20,000 five-star reviews and an A-plus rating from the Better Business Bureau. Custom blinds at low prices and free shipping. Blindster.com.
Look,
Some choices in life are complicated. Others, thankfully, are much simpler, like choosing Truist One Checking. There are no overdraft fees, lots of practical perks, and when your life evolves and account balances grow, we'll upgrade your perks automatically. Truist One Checking. One simple choice. Truist Bank. Member FDIC.
When I'm on the move, there's only one move that works for me. So I'm going to Checkers. Slide me that $2.49 chicken bites and fries box. No matter where I go, I'm going to enjoy the crispy, juicy, perfectly seasoned all-white meat chicken bites. Plus a load of Checkers' famous seasoned fries, all for just $2.49. That's right. This box is always coming in clutch. Checkers is boxing up deals like you've never seen before. Whether I'm running on empty or stepping on the gas, I'm taking one for the road with Checkers. Get it delivered now.
The ability to overcome a history of opioid use disorder, or OUD, takes perseverance, commitment, and a helping hand. At Brayburn, we're dedicated to helping people living with OUD. We challenge the status quo by partnering with the community to create an environment where those living with OUD get the best possible care. We believe that increasing awareness of the challenges of OUD can help people get the help they need to begin recovery. At Brayburn, the needs of the recovery community are our driving force. We strive to be a trusted partner and work closely with people directly impacted by OUD to understand what matters most. We are collaborative, we are passionate, we are proud of our purpose, and we're committed to transforming the management of OUD. To learn more, visit BrayburnRx.com. That's BrayburnRx.com. Or connect with Brayburn at linkedin.com/company/Brayburn.
Do you have an idea for an invention or new product and don't know what to do next? Inventors, InventHelp can help you get started with your idea. Call 1-800-INVENTION or go to InventHelp.com to get your free inventor's information. They can help you try to patent your idea and submit it to companies. Get started with your idea today at InventHelp.com. InventHelp is the leading invention service company. With offices nationwide, they've been helping inventors since 1984. Inventors receive more than 10,000 patents through their patent referral services. Don't wait to get started with your idea. For free information, contact your friends at InventHelp. Go to InventHelp.com or call 1-800-INVENTION. That's InventHelp.com or call 1-800-INVENTION. They help everyday inventors just like you. Additional services include invention websites, prototype models, technical drawings, and more. They keep your idea confidential and explain every step of their invention services. Remember, that's InventHelp.com. InventHelp.com.
O'Reilly. Do you need new wiper blades but aren't sure which ones are right for you? The professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts can help. We'll show you the best options for your specific vehicle and even install your new wipers for free. And right now, save $10 per pair on Bosch Focus wiper blades, plus get 2 times O-Rewards points. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Attention, our friends from Guarantee Media are giving away 4 days in Puerto Rico, Jamaica, or Mexico with hotel and airfare included for only $99 to the first 50 listeners to text MUSIC to 96551. It's only for the first 50 listeners to text MUSIC to 96551. They give you up to a year and a half to travel, but you must be one of the first 50 to text MUSIC to 96551. Grab your phone and text the word MUSIC to 96551 for your chance to get 4 days in Puerto Rico, Jamaica, or Mexico with hotel and airfare included for only $99. That's MUSIC to 96551. You heard right. Be one of the first 50 listeners to text MUSIC to 96551 and get 4 days in Puerto Rico, Jamaica, or Mexico with hotel and airfare included for only $99. But you must be one of the first 50 listeners to text MUSIC to 96551. Text the word MUSIC to 96551 for your chance to go on vacation to Puerto Rico, Jamaica, or Mexico.
What key is tonight going to be played in? Well, that's entirely up to you and your spirit. Over here at Wild Turkey, we're opting for something that rings true and can reverberate for ages. A little 101. Wild Turkey 101 has been pleasing crowds for decades with its iconic rich flavor. Crafted with generations of know-how and the finest ingredients. Wild Turkey. Trust your spirit. Wild Turkey Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. Copyright 2023 Campari America, New York, New York. Never compromise, drink responsibly.
Celebrate National Bourbon Heritage Month at Christner's Prime Steak and Lobster. Enhance your legendary dining experience with an array of Christner's custom bourbons. Try the new Heaven's Door barrel-aged old-fashioned cocktail and enjoy the signature Heaven's Door profile of sweet citrus and dry spice, followed by allspice and a hint of sherry. Ask your server or our in-house sommelier for custom bourbon selections and pairings. Every day is a special occasion at Christner's. Visit Christner'sPrimeSteakandLobster.com for reservations.
Lowe's knows fall is the perfect time for outdoor projects. Right now, you can keep your yard looking its best and save. Take care of leaves with leaf blowers starting at just $89.98. Lowe's knows home improvement. While supplies last, see store for details.
This hour of Real Radio 104.1, sponsored by FloridaJobsNow.com, coming October 11th.
Dispatches, stories that didn't make the cut. And today we're going to wrap everything up for a Tuesday. Thanks to those of you who shared the show today. It's not too late. You can always send a link to the podcast or just like the stream or do anything else you want to do to tell somebody else about the show and spread the word. Also, if you want that podcast, you can go over to thenewsjunkie.com. On the website, you can learn about secret shows, weekly uncensored shows right there that you can subscribe to. And you can also sign up for your account so you can send dispatches in and be part of the program. Maybe tomorrow's your day. I really hope so. Let's play this real quick. I don't know if you guys have seen this yet.
Though. Some of you, it might be Thursday.
There is a clip that's making the rounds right now. What year was this? Hang on. It says 1993. There's a news story where they were reacting to credit cards being accepted in Burger King. And it's sort of like one of those.
Didn't we just do this with like one of the first Olive Gardens in their town?
Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
Yeah. And then there was one before. Do you remember when we did the news story about how they just made it so you can't drink and drive?
Yeah.
And they
I'm still going to do it. I'm still doing it.
All the people at the bar were like, what are you talking about? We can't drink and drive? Get out of here.
Sir, how many pints have you had? He's like, 12. Bye.
Let's see. I haven't watched this just yet.
All right. Let me see. What will it be?
We're here to go. Would you like ketchup on that?
Well,
large or small fry?
Cash
or credit?
So many questions.
The home of the Whopper is offering cash or credit.
I think it's pretty bad if you have to use a credit card when you go to a fast food restaurant.
It's so embarrassing.
From such a different time, man. This is time capsule
credit
stuff.
Card was looked at that time like you are in desperate. Yeah, you have no money.
Yeah,
like
I think you're right.
In a point where, wow, you're going to do that instead of work for cash that you could use at Burger King?
It was looked at as like not real money. You got a credit card, but that's not real.
Well,
this is silly.
Even later, like I can remember when I had a debit card and my mom still thought that it was not proper to use it on small things. Like if I just went to 7-Eleven and got a big gulp and I paid with my debit card, she was like, well, that's what cash is for. You have cash for that. Now I never have cash, and I always pay with a card, and usually it's with my watch or my phone.
This was only the 90s, and this is how much change that we've seen in that amount of time.
For something as little as $3.10.
If I use my GM card, I get a 5% rebate. If I eat here long enough, I'll be able to buy a pickup truck.
Burger King bosses say
bad
workers
news
will
from
have
the
to
future.
figure out how much change the customer gets back.
I just hope it doesn't slow things down at the cash and carry, that people are going to be having to call New York and get the confirmation or whatever it is. Because when I want it now.
Just another way to spend money. I'm sure it'll work for people on vacation when they don't have to do something, but I can't imagine it working on a day-to-day basis here.
Yeah. Same here. That guy must feel like an idiot.
Well, I mean, there was like a point
Never
in time.
gonna catch on.
Was it every credit card transaction you needed to call for confirmation, or
really? I didn't know.
There was a point in time where like that was a thing. It was back when they were still doing like with the carbon copy credit card things.
Yeah.
And I know that they had that little device like you saw in Home Alone 2 that made the phone call for you.
Yeah.
That little thing that was just looked like a credit card swiper and a touch tone keypad. And that's when they saw that the Kevin's credit card had come up stolen.
Yeah, it would say approved, declined, or stolen,
right.
I think. There's only a couple messages.
But I do remember, like, there were times where they would have to call the credit card, like, a hotline and make sure everything was approved.
Yeah, I just love the guy who's like, I don't think this is going to catch on. This is never going to be a big
good
deal.
luck. You already going to call New York and get a confirmation number?
That's like the guy who wrote the article. Was it Paul Krugman who wrote that? Who wrote the article about the internet is not going to catch on. And then afterwards you're like, whoo, the take that just missed by a little more than it should have.
That's how you're going to feel when the metaverse is everything.
Yeah, right. I don't think Facebook's idea of the metaverse with this stupid little, like, I don't know what to call them, Mii's avatars.
Legs.
Yeah, the little no-leg characters are like bopping around, and you're going to a virtual Starbucks or going to see a concert by Pepsiville. Like, that version of the metaverse, that ain't going to happen. But maybe like VR will work its way into our lives somehow. Bad news for everybody who's paying big bills. This and the stories that didn't make the cut, brought to you by Nations Trucks. Love our friends over there. Go get the truck of your dreams. Just like that guy wanted to buy with his points from his credit card purchases at Burger King. Get your truck.
Here long enough.
You get that Nations truck after a while. Get the deal of your life over at nationstrucks.com. Monthly average payments for homeowners standing at $2,161 a month. That is an increase of over $1,000. So before the pandemic, an average of about $1,000. After the pandemic, more than $2,000. Mortgage payments are up that much. So people are getting crushed by this stuff. And 7 candidates have qualified for the debate tomorrow, the Republican presidential debate. Ron DeSantis, Tim Scott, Nikki Haley, Vivek Ramaswamy, Chris Christie, Doug Burgum, Mike Pence, all in, Donald Trump out. Not gonna be there.
Aren't DeSantis' numbers like way down right now, though?
I think he's like maybe come back a little tiny bit, but the Vivek Ramaswamy guy took a big bite out of him for a while.
Yeah.
But this could change everything, I guess. I know he's afterwards he said a lot of stuff where I'm like, oh, what, dude? There's a lot of like weird takes and stuff that's not feasible.
He has just too much energy for me.
He landed some punches in the first debate, and people did dig this guy who came out of nowhere. Maybe he can right the ship in the second debate. Maybe not. I don't know. We'll see tomorrow. Right now, let's do Today I Learned.
The following information may make you feel smarter, but will not actually increase your IQ. So don't get cocky. Now it's time for what we call Today I Learned.
It is Today I Learned for a Tuesday, September 26, 2023. Today I Learned sponsored by J. David Tax Law. Peace of mind is only a click or a phone call away. Today I Learned this band.
That's Black Sabbath.
That's right, Black Sabbath. Woo! The band credited with releasing the first heavy metal album got the idea to create what they called scary music after realizing people pay money to watch horror films and visit haunted houses and stuff. Why wouldn't people want some scarier music? And thus the birth of heavy metal afterwards. Today I learned the global sex toy market has a value of $32.7 billion today.
Good for them.
A lot of money spent on sex toys. That is expected to double by 2030. I guess as more and more people find access to it, there's more stuff invented. I don't know, they got all kinds of weird stuff out there. Really like next level electronic gadgetry in the sex toy business. Today, Mark Summers, the host of Double Dare and What Would You Do, considered becoming a rabbi at one point in his career. After talking to a rabbi who said it's a miserable, miserable life, he became a game show host instead.
Okay. Also
and finally,
miserable life.
Today I learned this guy right here, this band.
Smashing Pumpkins.
That's right, Smashing Pumpkins. The original music video for this song, 1979, by the Smashing Pumpkins, was stolen and has never been recovered. They had to go back afterwards and reshoot one of the scenes in it, and a bunch of it just ended up disappearing forever as somebody grabbed the tapes. Hey, thank you so much for hanging out with us. We do appreciate it. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place. And don't forget, more great talk content coming up next. Don't smile at me, Sela. We'll see you tomorrow, everybody.
Oh, yeah.